weekend, I've won like $200 already. So
Oh
like that
yeah.
shit coming through.
You know what?
Yeah.
Like I never got into like sports betting at all. So like pretty much you got to be match specific, right? Doesn't it like yo this player got to get this much points or this much rebounds and assists stuff like that?
Yeah, like if you really want to get into the money, yeah. Like you could do basic shit like this team is gonna beat that team, but those winnings don't be like that much. But if you want to get into the money, like yeah, this player gonna have this many points, this player gonna have this many assists, this player gonna have this many rebounds, like the team is gonna win by this
Yeah.
amount of points. Like if you really want to get into, because that's when the
Oh.
odds get really, really like high
Oh,
and shit like
okay.
that.
See, I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna stay away from that because
Yeah.
it seems like something that you can just lose yourself in type of
Oh,
situation.
for
You can just
sure.
lose
That's why
yourself.
I don't make the tickets. Like I'll look like the dude he spends all his day and time making the tickets, and then I'll look at it and be like, okay, I think that looks good. I'll take out what I don't think looks good and shit like that, and then
Yeah.
I'll just go from there. But
So
yeah,
I
it's
went
mad
to
people that do
I
that
went
shit.
to Vegas. Like when I went down to LA a couple of years back. Me and my brother took a drive to Vegas. It was my first time in Vegas. So I went to the famous MGM
Yeah.
casino.
Yep. Facts.
Bro, I had $150 in my pocket. I left there. I still got the ticket with 64 cents left. Ever since then, I'm like, you know what? This gambling thing is not for me. It's really not for me. I only lost 150, and I was so sour. I was so
Yeah.
sour that I'm like, you know what? Nah, I can't be throwing. And you lose it quick too. That's like the funny thing. It's not like that.
What you
They
was
don't even let
playing?
you win a little. They don't even let you win a little bit. And I don't know. I don't know too much about like poker and none of them other games. I don't know how to play those too well. So I was just doing
Right.
slots and stuff like that. I was doing like
Oh,
just the
okay.
easy press a button and
Yeah.
you put in this, and I just
Mm-hmm.
lost all of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of good. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I was losing money, but
Mm-hmm.
my brother was doing a little bit of gambling too, right? And
Mm-hmm.
tell me how like he pretty much ended up winning the money that I lost back. And the way
Yeah.
we were screaming in that casino, you would have think we won like a couple 100,000 or something. Like we were just so happy we just won our money back.
Yeah.
Won our
It
money
be
back and
like
ran
that
out of there.
though.
And we ran out of there. We're like,
It,
yo, we're good.
Yeah, that's how like me and my wife went like 2 weeks ago to the casino and we played craps for the first time. Like my first time ever playing it on like a live real table. And we both was like, all right, we're gonna play like $100 each and then go from there. And I lost my 100 quick. Like I lost my shit probably in like 10 minutes. My shit was gone. But she was having like beginner's luck. Like she was killing it. She was on the table
Yeah.
for like 30 minutes. And like you roll into like you crap out and shit like that. She was rolling for like a good 30 minutes straight, just hitting that shit. She won all of our money back and everything. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like I don't even feel bad no more.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That shit
Maybe
fun
one
though.
day.
Craps is
Yeah,
hilarious.
maybe one day I'm gonna pull up to a casino and see test my luck. But honestly, it's like one of those situations that I'm pulling out a certain amount of money. I'm leaving my wallet at home or in the car or
Yeah,
something, bro.
yeah.
Because
You
I'm one
gotta
of those
be.
people that like even when it comes to video games, right? Like if I lose at something, like say if I'm playing a fighting game, like I'm that guy who like I want to play again. Let's do this
Yeah,
again. Run it back.
right.
Run it back. That's like my
I can beat
personality.
you. I can
You know,
I
some
can
people,
beat
yeah,
you on the
some
next
people who
run.
play, right? And they play a game, they're losing against like whether they're friend, they'll play a couple matches like, no, I'm good because they just hate losing type of situation. Me, nah, I want to run it back. Let's keep going. Let's keep going because I just see myself getting better. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's like kind of my personality. And if that transfers into gambling, that might be a nasty situation.
Yeah, because
Might be a
nine
nasty.
times out of 10, you ain't gonna beat the house. Like
Yeah,
it's very
exactly.
hard to beat the house.
Exactly.
You gotta know when to get up. That's not one of them joints where you just went in and you be like, oh shit, this gonna happen all night. Hell no. You gotta come in there with the money you willing to lose, and then know when to leave when you up. Like, all right, I'm up $100. I came with 100, so I'm at 200. That's fine. Like you can't just be thinking like, oh shit, I'm at 200. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna get the 500 before I get the fuck up out of here. Nope, gone.
All right, yo,
Gone.
can you shout some people out in the chat? I'm about to go get myself a bottle of water real quick, and I'm gonna pop
For
back.
sure, for sure. Got you, got you. What up? Appreciate y'all in the chat. I know I was running a little bit late, but we are here now, ready to deliver a banger of an episode. Shout out to y'all in the chat. We got my boy DX Taker in the building. He said that Tenkaichi 4 is fire. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure. Killer Cam for sure in the building. What's good, King Kenpachi? What's happening? Mario Tanaka. What up? What up? Roxas, that's my guy right there. He always showing love and support. Retromatic. See you Arcade, same old. Yes, Jaren Stamps in the building. Sly, appreciate y'all. We wasn't here last week, so you know what I'm saying. We got a lot to talk about now. This every 2 weeks. It's kind of becoming a norm thing where we doing this shit every 2 weeks now. But things happen, life happens, so that's why we be missing weeks and shit like that. It's never, motherfuckers don't want to be here and shit like that. So, Temper is in the building. Y Band Craft, my boy Meds, shout out to you. Max, what up? Type 1, Justin said, what's up? I never knew DBZ Kakarot was this good. I enjoy it more than Xenoverse. Oh, yeah, that DBZ Kakarot.
What? That game is sick. I can't believe people didn't give that game a fair shot. I don't know why, but Kakarot is really good. It's really, really good.
Plus, I think it might be on Game Pass, or it was on Game Pass, but yeah. I actually I never played it. I never checked it out. So
it's really good. The graphics are nice.
I'm gonna get to it.
And it's a game that obviously follows like the Dragon Ball timeline, but I think it's the first one to really do like an open world. Like it's like an open world that you explore.
Yeah,
I think it does it extremely well. It has great RPG mechanics in the game. It's a lot of fun. Personally, I'm waiting to jump back in. I wanted to clear some
coming out, right?
Yeah, I just want to clear some of my backlog because apparently there's mad DLC even available right now to play, and I do want to go back and play everything. But I did already beat like the base game on PC a while ago, and I enjoyed my playthrough, man. It was done really well. I enjoyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do got mad. They got the Bardock joint that came out.
I think they got
Super.
I think they got some Dragon Ball Super DLC as well.
Yeah, Season Pass 2. They got Goku's Next Journey, which came out in February. So yeah, they've been supporting that joint.
I really enjoyed that game. Okay, since we're already here, J-Mate, the last time we did a podcast, as soon as we got off that, we got some crazy news.
Yeah,
we got some crazy news right after the podcast. The same night,
right after, for sure.
Right after the podcast. So we got news that Akira Toriyama passed away. And it messed up my entire night. If you need to know anything about me, I'm a real Dragon Ball Z head. I can't even tell you how many times I have watched Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball back like over and over throughout the years. It's obviously my introduction to anime, right? Like a lot of people, right?
Same.
And I remember, when I was in elementary school, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z on, shout out to all the Canadians, I don't know if y'all, but on YTV, I believe it was 8 o'clock every night on YTV. It was like an event.
That must be some Canada shit.
Yeah. It was an event in my household. Like, my mom used to actually, at one point in time, used to pay attention, see what was going on.
Oh, shit.
My brothers used to tape it. Used to tape it on VHS. You know what I mean? I might still have the VHS somewhere of Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time. Like, no joke. Like, it was a real thing in our household. So Dragon Ball,
8 episodes.
yeah. So Dragon Ball has it's literally been a huge part of my life. Obviously, the video games I played it. Name it, I played it. Final Bout, Budokai Tenkaichi, Budokai 1, 2, 3, Shin Budokai on the PSP. What else? Boost Fury, Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, Dragon Ball Advance Adventure. Dragon Ball Advance. Yeah, that's Legacy and Boost Fury. Real dudes know about Dragon Ball Advance Adventure. That game was so fire. Super Sonic Warriors, bro. I've played them all. PSP Tag Team. I've literally the only Dragon Ball game I haven't played is that Connect game. I ain't gonna hold you. I never played the Dragon Ball Connect game on 360. I never played that.
I'm surprised.
I never played that.
Did you ever play the Dragon Ball Z tournament game that was like a flash game on the computer?
Oh, the one that had the Cisco music, the flash game, like the Cisco music, the thong song or something like that.
Yeah, that was the shit.
I played that too,
we used to go
bro.
To the library and play that shit for hours, bro. That was my shit.
Whatever Dragon Ball game, I personally, I might have played them all. Like real talk, Hyper Dimension, Super NES, I played them all. So obviously the news hit home. It messed up my day. I almost felt like we lost Michael. I never felt this bad since I lost Michael. Look, my girl's saying, "Oh my God," in the background, but it's true. I felt like we lost Michael. I felt like we lost Kobe that day. I ain't gonna hold you.
Fuck off.
What's wrong with this girl? She doesn't know. But that shit, yo, bro, I have a collection of the DVDs. I have mad collection of the video games, man. So that shit didn't mess up my night. And I just want to, obviously say my RIPs. Dude's a legend. What else can you say? He's a legend. You know what I mean?
Impactful, like in so many ways, in terms of course, the current state of anime and all the creators now that are doing their thing and they're being inspired by his work, and then just the community of kids and even adults now that loved watching Dragon Ball Z. Like, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to fight with my brother and we was different characters and shit like that. Like, I've been hit with Kamehameha waves and shit like that, and then, oh my god, how could I ever forget the father son Kamehameha wave when Gohan
For
going
Cell.
against Cell. That episode when Goku like sacrificed himself and then like it
That was
all up to
crazy.
Gohan, like,
That was
motherfuckers in
crazy.
the house bugging, like, what is he doing? And Cell came back. I was like, yo, it's over. Everybody's dead.
You know what's so crazy about that moment in Dragon Ball 2? Like, as the viewer, you already know, like, yo, the Dragon Balls exist. Like, you could just low-key wish Goku right back, right? But still, that scene, just the way they did it was still so sad, yo. And don't even get me started. That whole scene when Cell came back and he fired at Trunks, the Vegeta goes crazy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He fired at Trunks, and Vegeta goes insane, and that was like the first time we seen him actually like, step up for Trunks, and that was crazy. That whole show, honestly, that was like some peak fiction right there. Like Dragon Ball, the Saiyan saga, incredible. Frieza saga. If you had to rank them, what would be your? For me, Frieza saga is number one. Saiyan saga might be number two. But Frieza Saga is my all-time favorite.
The Cell Saga, bro. I don't know. That shit was special because that's when Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 2 for one, I think it was, for the first time.
Yeah, for the androids.
Going against the androids, and that music, I think that might be my favorite transformation music.
Yeah, the piano roll for Vegeta's insane.
Bro,
the piano roll.
I literally go to the gym sometimes and I'll play that shit before I work out. Like, that's my shit, son. I love. And Vegeta was he's probably my favorite character before we got into like Gohan being Super Saiyan 2, and then they fucking, Gohan became a bitch. But shout out, respectfully. But Cell Saga, that might be my bag.
The quotables in that show, like, I've watched it so much. I literally know, like, when Vegeta pulled up for the first time and saved Goku from fighting, I believe, Android 19 and 20. I think that's the numbers. When Vegeta pulled up, what did he say? He said to the man, yo, has an android ever experienced fear? That quotable always gets me. Then he powers up to the Super Saiyan. I'm like, oh, this is ill, bro. Oh, man. Nah, I'm a Dragon Ball Z nerd. When it comes to Dragon Ball Super, y'all got that. Because to be honest, like, Dragon Ball Super to me is like fan service. I'm not really super into it. I think it's introduced some cool ideas, but I'm not really super big into Super, even though I still watch it just because I love the character so much. But Dragon Ball Z, y'all can't tell me nothing about Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and the movies. I know everything about it. Everything. But R.I.P., man. R.I.P. That should mess me up.
Definitely rest in peace. Akira Toriyama.
Yes,
legend.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Will be missed, man.
Good gaming, episode 63. We back with another episode. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Before I actually get started, I want to, if there's any first-time listeners, shout out to you. I know I've been getting quite a few subscribers lately from doing my reviews and hands-on previews and stuff like that. So if any of you guys stumble on this podcast, pretty much we just talk about current news. I don't make videos about news, right? So I pretty much get it all out on the podcast. So that's what we're here for. And I'm here with the best co-hosts around, Jay Main.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. It's in the description as well. So J Main, man, it's been a while since we did a pod. I think we missed another week. There was nothing really going on, but now we have a lot to talk about. So it should be a really good show. What were you playing this past couple of weeks?
Past couple of weeks, I've been playing the Final Fantasy. What is it? Crisis Core. I've been going through that game.
Have you beat it before?
Through that. I've played it before. I never beat it though.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the character and kind of pretty much everything that kind of takes place, but I've never actually played it from beginning to end. And then with the way Final Fantasy VII Remake ended, and I'm assuming how Rebirth is gonna start, I wanted to get through that, and then I'll jump into Rebirth and stuff like that. So I've been playing that. It's definitely a handheld PSP game from its time. You know,
Yeah.
the open, well, not even open world, but the world
Just the
itself, how the
design,
levels
right? The
are built.
gameplay. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
could tell
design, the
that's.
gameplay
Yep.
loop is like, okay, I'm here for the, for the story and the combat stuff, and I ain't really too keen on a lot of the extra stuff going on. But it's cool. I like what they did because they definitely switched up some things on how it played in the PSP one. So I think it got some nice quality of life improvements
Hmm.
over the PSP version, and it looks crispy. It's 4K, of course. They did a couple things with the UI that it definitely is similar to what they did with the Final Fantasy VII remake. So overall, it's pretty good so far, and I'll be seeing that through. It's not that long of a game, so I'm on
Yeah.
to that Rebirth, and then still dabbling in Helldivers, of course, too. They had just got the new Warbond,
Enemy
which is
type,
their
right?
version of the. No, no, no. Well, yes, but no. The new, yeah, they got like flying Terminids, so it's still the bugs, but it's like a flying version of the
That's good.
bugs. So yeah, and then they got new weapons and shit like that too. So that shit is still going strong. I just love the way they roll out the content. Like they was some people was seeing like the flying bugs. And then the developers came out. Was like, nah, those don't even exist. Like, it's not even real. And then today they finally came out
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they actually are real.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
it's cool.
Arrowhead is honestly doing a masterclass when it comes for running the games as a service. I think they're doing everything
For sure.
right. Their communication with the community, what the CEO is doing with the fans on social media. I think they're just killing it right now. And we're gonna talk about Helldivers 2 success since we recently got some Europe numbers and American numbers
Yeah,
and
we
some
did.
figures. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on the podcast. But yeah, I just gotta commend them. They've been absolutely killing it and running a masterclass on showing how it's supposed to be done. You know what I mean? So they're doing a great job. Great job.
Sure. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
So you've been playing?
What you been
Okay.
dabbling in?
Okay, so pretty much I was playing Persona 5 like maybe after finishing Persona 3 Reloaded. Then
Right.
on March 5th, PlayStation sent me a review copy of Rise of the Ronin. So I've been
Yes,
playing Rise of the
sir.
Ronin pretty much religiously since. Then I beat the game. I put out a review. I know some of y'all probably seen the review. It's doing incredibly well. I think it's another video that's gonna hit over 10K. So I'm very happy. I think I'm
Nice.
going 4 for 4 right now. I'm going 4 for 4.
Huh? 4 Pete.
So shout out to everyone who watched and supported it. I really do appreciate it. Putting a lot of effort into these reviews. It takes a lot of time. You messaged me and I was like, I told you that I was like, I'm not done the review yet. I'm still working on it. I was up till like 2 a.m. in the morning, but
Woo.
after putting so much work into it, it's good to see that you get something out of it. Like people get to actually see it and enjoy it and interact with
Yeah.
it. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that.
That's what's up.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Rise of the Ronin, which I will talk about on the podcast too. When we actually we're probably gonna be the first topic anyway, so we're gonna get through that.
Yeah.
But I've been
The
playing that.
reviews and your opinions.
I really enjoyed the game. I think we could might as well just jump into that because it is like the first topic that we have.
Yeah.
The game is
So
currently sitting at what, a 77 or a 76 on Metacritic.
correct. I think it's
And
a 76 right now.
76. And I personally don't like giving review scores in my reviews. I never do. But if I had to give this a personal score, for me, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Well, that's
I would give it an 8 out of
that's
10.
not too far off.
It's not
then.
too
That's not
far off, right? 76, like it's not too far
Yeah.
off. I think for this to be Team Ninja's first open world game, they have done an incredible job with it. It's a little rough around the edges in certain aspects, but I think this is a valiant effort from them. So I'm pretty impressed. The combat's a lot of fun, a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
that's what I took from a lot of the reviews is that they felt like the combat was like the shining part of it,
Yeah,
but they felt like the
yeah.
open world lacked in, I don't know if it was variety, quality,
I
a
wouldn't.
combination of those things.
I wouldn't say it lacked in variety. I wouldn't go as far as say that. It's just unoriginal in the sense that like it's your typical open world game. It's not doing nothing special in its open world. You know what I mean?
So
You
like
got
Ubisoft
these.
formula.
Yeah. It's just like this is the formula that we're accustomed to. I feel like it's
Yep.
no different. I think you could use the same critique for games like Ghost of Tsushima as well. Like how many shrines did we go and prey at in Ghost? How many times did we follow a fox in Ghost throughout the playthrough?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just your typical open world jargon. You know, I just really think the timing for this game is going against it, though. I really do feel like the timing. I think since it's also beside a game that's probably just more impressive in general, even though it's not the same genre, but it's releasing beside a game that's just more impressive overall when it comes to visuals, when it comes to its open world and its dynamics, because we're hearing so much great things about Dragon's Dogma and how interactive that world is. Like we're seeing all sorts of cool clips on social media. So I just think the timing too of the release date is going against it. But I promise you, if you enjoyed Neo, if you enjoyed Wulong, if you love feudal Japan and samurais and stuff, I don't see why you wouldn't like this game. I don't know why you wouldn't. The game is a lot of fun. The game is a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed my playthrough. I had a feeling it was gonna get some mixed reception after just seeing the conversation after the previews. You know, I just saw what
the previews were really positive though, but they were comparing it to things like Assassin's Creed. But the way things were being worded, it almost seemed like they were saying that in a positive way, which kind of surprised me. I'm like, hold on, they saying this is like, you know, it's bringing them back to the days of Assassin's Creed in a positive way. I'm like, that's interesting because a lot of times people are tired of that formula. So I mean, when I came out with my predictions, I thought it would be in the 85, especially after the previews, because for me personally, I thought the combat looked really, really good. And like from the previews as well, they showcase like even more of how much variety it is to the combat with different weapons and how many stances each weapon has. And then you can go into the grappling hook and then the traversal aspect of it. Like
it's a lot of fun to play. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. And you know, I'm somebody who enjoys action games that have a big emphasis on parrying, because I just find that stuff so addicting. And they definitely got that right in the sense of like the sound effect, the feeling. Like when you actually land like parries, it's just so satisfying. The sound effect is just so great. So I'm enjoying it, man. I'm 66, I believe, percent done the trophy list. It doesn't look like a crazy too hard platinum. It does involve some grinding. So I'm not done with the game. Even though my review's out, beat the game, I'm still playing the game. I wanna get this platinum. I'm having fun with it still. So
what I want to ask you, what type of open world activities and stuff do they have you doing? Is it like the camps that you have to go and liberate?
You can liberate camps. There's cats for you to collect. There's photos for you to take. And landmarks you visit. There's fugitives. I never can say the word properly.
Fugitives.
Yeah, I can never say the word properly, bro. I always whoops my ass, bro. There's those that you have to like kill that's surrounding in the open world too. Like there's a whole bunch of them that you have to kill. There's also sometimes like random things that happen in the world where like an NPC will call you to do a quick favor. It mostly involves you killing somebody. You know what I mean? Most of the side quests and stuff do involve you killing somebody. Once in a while, you might get like a fetch quest to go and grab something and bring it back, but most of it involves you killing somebody. I remember I did do a side quest from a lady. I think she lost something in the river and I had to go in the river and go fish for it, pretty much, right? So it's like the open world activities. You're not doing anything special that you haven't done in previous games. So if people are using that as a criticism, I get it. But I think for me, the combat is definitely carrying the experience. I'm just having a great time playing around with all the different weapons. And there's a lot of enemies in the game because, you know, there's 9 weapons, right? 10 including your hands. And pretty much all the enemies you encounter in the game may have a variation of one of those weapons. You understand? Plus the different stances for those weapons. So it's a nice mixture, right? It's a nice dynamic, and you know, just the parry time is gonna mess. Even when I first started the game, I was missing my parries like crazy. But throughout the
Is it
throughout the
different
game, I
windows
got
for different weapons?
Yeah,
and
yo,
stances and shit like that?
yeah, the windows is because these. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the gameplay. Like, you know, they kind of delay their hits a lot in this game. You know, I know in the Dark Souls games, the bosses be doing that too. Like, they take so long to kind of wind up, so it kind of throws you off.
It throws you off.
So you kind of throw your parry a
When they
little
go
too
slow,
early.
I was about to say it throws you off when they go slow like that.
Exactly. There's a lot of that in this game. So it's fresh. Like 50 hours in, I'm still having fun with the game. I'm definitely way better than I was when I started, and I'm glad that they did even they added a higher difficulty. Like there's a midnight mode after you complete the game, so it's even higher.
Is it
higher,
4
harder
difficulties total?
Yeah, so there's 4 difficulties in total, but you unlock the last one after completing the game.
Okay, and you played on like?
I played on normal because I played on normal because my
Right.
time, and I didn't have enough time to like.
No.
Play on time. I played on.
What
normal.
I was gonna ask you is like, did the normal feel like
The normal is not
it
easy.
was?
The normal's not.
Did it feel in line with like? I don't know if Wolong had difficulties, but like a Neo or something like that. Or even
No, I
like
think
a
that's.
Souls game,
I think it's more. I think if you're looking for like kind of the Neo experience, you have to play on Twilight.
which is the
Normal is a
it
good
would be
challenge.
the third
though.
to last, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That one,
Gotcha.
it's unlocked right from the beginning, so you don't have to worry. So you can play on Twilight if you're looking for like a challenge. 100% you're gonna get a challenge playing on Twilight. But there's
so what you're
there's even a
basically
midnight
saying is
difficulty
use a
after
bum.
that too.
Yeah, use a bum. So I
Oh,
understand
here we
that now.
go. Here we go. I'm on the schedule. I had to drop a hands on. I had to drop a review. I couldn't waste no time. So I played it on normal. But it's nice. The normal difficulty is actually a decent challenge. I've since then upped it up. I have upped it now that I have no pressure to drop any content about the game. I've upped it and I've been playing it, running through the game on the midnight stuff. My character level also carries over, and my items too. So it's nice.
For like New
It's
Game
nice.
Plus and all of
For
that.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Somebody
well-
messaged me about how the co-op worked, and I didn't really go too in my review about how the co-op works in the game. So I guess I will explain it. You can't co-op the open world in the game. Like you can't co-op like just walk around and explore with your boys in the open world. That's not how the co-op works in this game. The co-op works in this game is it's tied to your main missions.
Okay.
Right? At that point you can invite friends in and do main missions with them together. So that's how it works in this. So it's not like y'all running around the open world together and
Maybe that's why they didn't like promote it as much as I would expect them to, because it's not really like that seamless hop in and hop out at any point you want with a friend. You gotta activate a mission and then probably invite them in or something like that, or invite them
pretty
at a
much
mission.
pretty much, or you could go to your log house and y'all you can get a lobby going and select the mission. That's how it works. And so if anybody was confused about the co-op, that's how it works in the game. But yeah, man, I enjoyed my playthrough, man. It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm not mad at the reviews either. I'm not mad at the reviews at what it got. I always knew I always playing it. I could tell, and just seeing the conversation, I already could tell it was going to be a little bit mixed. Some people were going to really like it. Some people were going to be critical. Even though I don't agree with some of the criticism, I feel like some people are nitpicking with some of them, especially like the horse one. The horse one is the worst nitpick. The horse one is the worst one. I
did see that.
That's the worst one. Out of all the things to nitpick in the game,
somebody
like
damn
come on,
near
bro.
called the horse like special ed. Like they was going,
That's
like,
the craziest nitpick I heard about the
calling
game. I
that
can't even lie. That was the craziest nitpick I heard about the game. Because there's
a
a
lot of
of games I
conversation
don't
on
have.
the timeline though.
Yeah.
It's been about the visuals of the game.
Yeah.
How do you feel like? Do you feel like that's justified for people like that? Be like, yo, this looks like a PS3 game, like overall. 'cause
Yeah,
you got-
yeah.
you know
I
what
did
mean? You've
mention.
seen
I did
everything.
mention. Yeah, I did mention in my review for people calling it a PS3. I disagree with that a lot. Does it look like? Does it look like Horizon Forbidden West? No, of course not.
Right.
But it's not as ugly as people are saying. I can promise you, the performance mode is a lot more clear than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I can promise you that the performance mode actually is not a blurry mess. You actually can see. I can promise. So the visuals has its moments where it looks really, really good, and it has its moments that it looks average. I think that's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it.
From what I watched with videos or previews and reviews, I thought the game looked I don't know. It was weird. Like I feel like maybe it's like the colors or something like that. I don't know if it has HDR or what, but I feel
I don't
like
even think it's that. I
they
think it's
did
just the
right with the
texture.
color
I think
grading.
I think it's the textures in general are like are higher quality. We've seen higher quality textures overall across the board in other games like a Horizon, like a Ghost, right? But
Yeah.
you would imagine like the production value of like the production of those games are way higher. I know a game like Ghost of Tsushima costs way more to make than this game. This game reuses animations from Neo. Like the whole rifle
Right.
animation, they literally stripped
Oh
that from
yeah,
Neo.
that's straight out of the
That's
yeah.
straight out of Neo. It's like the same thing. And I think this is how like Japanese developers kind of keep their budgets in check. So maybe Western developers
animations.
could learn a thing or two because they're always complaining about how games are too
Man.
expensive to make, but Japanese
Yeah.
developers are reusing animations, and some people are complaining, and they're keeping their budgets low.
I don't know if the Western developers put themselves in this position, but I feel like they would get fried way more for reusing assets than
A lot of Japanese developers reuse a lot. The sound effects they reuse. A lot of some animations they reuse. There's obviously new ones in here, but there's old ones as well. So yeah.
Shit, look at Spider-Man 2. Like, oh, we still in New York. It's like we still in New York.
You know what was you know what
shit
you know how I know
over?
gamers are cooked. You know how I know us gamers are cooked. Remember when God of War Ragnarok was dropping, and I know you've seen this on the timeline. Someone
Yes.
complained about the boat animation was
way
the
he was
same.
getting into
The
the
way he's
boat.
getting the boat was the
Absolutely.
same.
Yep.
Yo, gamers are cooked. We so cooked. We so cooked, guys. It's over. Yo.
Yeah.
We so cooked.
Yeah,
God
there was.
bless
They said
us,
that
man.
about Horizon too. They was like, "Oh, she using the same grappling hook animation." I'm like, "Yo, it's bad. It's bad."
It's
but
not that serious, guys. It's really not that
yeah,
serious.
like especially when it comes to like a direct sequel for a franchise. Like, yes, I expect them to reuse shit. Like, if it's a new IP, then you could kind of switch it up. But where I think Rise of the Ronin, I didn't know this was like I didn't play Wo Long, so that wasn't considered open world.
No,
I don't know if you played it.
no.
Okay.
I did play. I didn't finish it because I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's not.
I don't know if that open world. I don't know. That open world should be. It's a big risk because it's going to take a lot. Of course, it's going to take a lot of time away from other things, and just for it to be a rehash of open world things that we've seen before, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Like, I don't know. I haven't played it yet, but I'm seeing that be the downfall of a lot of games where they try to do this open world thing, and it just don't be worth it in the long run.
Yeah.
Like Forspoken,
No,
like it had to
but
me
to be
great
honest,
combat, but the story suffered in the open world wasn't really all that interesting. So maybe they
But-
could have took that time and made a better story.
You know what? But to be honest, I actually like that Team Ninja went this direction because it's a direction that they typically don't go, right? So it's kind of new. It's kind of new for them, right? If you played their games, their games are usually linear. So sometimes
sure.
it's nice. It's nice to see a developer who usually doesn't make an open world game attempt it, you know. And I think this is not a bad effort. I think this is something that they should stick with and build upon. I think they got something here that they can really build upon and do something nice with it.
It depends.
I'm
I
not
think
mad
they
at
were
it.
saying
I'm
they
not mad
hoping
at
to
it.
sell 5 million. I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
did see that report. I did see that
Yeah,
report.
that ain't. This
They
ain't
wanted
the
that 5 million.
million.
They should have dropped that on PC the same time too.
PC
eh?
day one.
They should have
Yeah.
dropped it on PC as well. Because I don't know if this
sure.
is gonna sell 5 million at least anytime soon. It's gonna take a while probably before it gets there. Because timing is right now. There's a lot of great games to play. I know there's a whole bunch of negativity on the timeline. When you go on the internet, it's just all negative. Like people complaining all day long on the timeline about some shit, right? So
Yeah.
but
I
in
think it's been a pretty
reality,
good first 3 months
it's
of the
actually a
year.
lot of great games to play right now. There's a lot of great games to play. So
Shit, I still Persona 3 Reloaded. Like I'm still looking
exactly,
to play that.
exactly. So the game does have a lot of competition, and we'll see, man. We'll see. I enjoyed my time with it, and I'm pretty sure people who are into like games like Neo, and action games who are willing to give it a try are probably gonna have a good time with the game as well too. So,
All right.
yeah, that's my thoughts on that, man. But if you guys haven't watched my review for it, you know, I really go into detail about it, so just check it out on my channel. All right. Okay, J Main. What's next on the docket? I kind of want to talk about the PS5 Pro.
Oh yeah,
wanna
definitely get
talk
to that. There was a lot going on with that last week, and a little bit this week too. With Digital Foundry coming in and kind of doubling down on some of the reports. So the first report came out last week. It was Moore's Law is dead. He pretty much came out, and he's kind of been reporting on the PS5 Pro for a little while now. Same with Insider Gaming. They pretty much told us when it was coming out and shit like that, and they had a couple like ballpark specs. But Moore's Law is dead. His most recent video and report came out. I think he had the most information in terms of the specs that we have seen so far. And he actually, let me pull up the article. I gotta find it real quick. PS5.
Yes. So it's apparently it's rumored to be coming at the end of this year, pretty much holidays, right?
Yep, holiday 2024, and he listed out some of the specs on that he had, which was that the GPU itself would be, well, he had said it would be like what 67 teraflops, but that was like, I guess, the floating point numbers, but I guess the raw teraflop numbers is like 33 and a half versus what the original OG PS5 had, which is 10.28 teraflops. So if you've seen anything about it being like 3 times more powerful, that's probably what it's based on. The CPU is only going to be a 10% increase of the same CPU, so just clocked higher.
Okay.
Yeah, same CPU clocked higher at 3.85 gigahertz. And also, PlayStation is supposed to be introducing their own version of upscaling and anti-aliasing, like a DLSS or a FSR, which is going to be called PSSR, standing for PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. I wonder how well it works in comparison to something like a FSR or a DLSS. So I'm definitely curious.
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious to see, how it compete against those. Okay, so pretty much the big hoopla and what people are really debating is it gonna play GTA 6 in 60 frames per second? That's what everyone just wants to know, bro. I think that's what people want to know. Like, is this game gonna play GTA 6 specifically at 60 frames per second? Because I think we're all under the assumption that Rockstar is not going to include a performance mode with GTA 6 because we're just looking at the trailer and we're looking how awesome this game is, and we know it's probably going to we know it's probably going to be pushing the limits of these current gen consoles, right? So I guess that's what everyone just wants to know. And I think right now people I think Digital Foundry came out and said, it's probably going to run into very similar issues that the PS4 Pro had, that the CPU is going to be pretty much a bottleneck for certain situations.
Right. Yeah. And this is what I expected based on what we had with the PS4 Pro. Like, a lot of people were, maybe hoping that they do a whole new CPU and stuff like that. But I just think when you get into that point, you start probably
that's next gen.
That's almost like it's almost like a whole new system. Like, I don't think it's worth them putting that much R&D and stuff like that into something like that they know it's not even going to sell anywhere as near what the main console is selling. It's not going to be the priority. This is for people that want more power, but it's not everybody. Everybody doesn't care about.
You know what? Going from I think you had a PS4 Pro, I had a PS4 Pro. Yeah. I would say going from the base PS4 to the PS4 Pro was actually a noticeable type of like jump. Obviously, we're actually starting to hit resolutions higher than 1080p. Because if you don't remember, PS4 was 1080p. That's what we're doing, right? Yeah. And I think around them times, that's when they started to I don't know. When did the HDR hit? Was it with the PS5 Pro? Wasn't it not?
It was with the Pro. Yeah, but
it was a Pro. I think that was like a selling point too, right? It was on the
original, but yeah, they introduced it around that time.
I feel like they introduced HDR and 4K. That was kind of like the buzzword, like the buzz things at the time with the Pro consoles. Yeah. So, bringing the Pro home, I do remember popping in like infamous First Light and noticing a difference. And like, oh shit! Like, I think that's where
that was a good implementation.
I think that's when I actually tried to upgrade my TV, and I bought like that Samsung KS8000 at the time.
Yeah, everybody was buying that shit.
Remember that Samsung KS?
When the 1X came out, KS8000.
Samsung K. That was like the TV at the time, right? It had all the great. It had great HDR. It's one of the top end TVs at the time, and I remember playing games like Horizon for the first time, and and like I said, Infamous First Light, and be like, oh shit, like the HDR and all this shit does look great. I ain't gonna hold you. So I felt like for what I'm getting at, like I felt like it was a good enough jump for me. But I think, just seeing like the PS5 Pro specs on paper, yes, the GPU power is noticeably stronger, right? But I want to kind of hear from PlayStation what's the actual tangible like benefits for real. Because now we're hearing that like we're getting reports from the tech experts like from Digital Foundry saying like the CPU is the same, 10%. I think going from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, I think the clock was higher. So like it was a high, the clock was higher on the CPU. So it wasn't a 10%. It was a higher than 10% increase even on the CPU side of things. You know what I'm saying? So this is even a lower like jump between CPU. You know what I'm saying? Like this was even a lower jump. So I'm just kind of, I think I need to hear from PlayStation, which I'm probably sold on it regardless. I'm a tech head. I'm a tech head anyway. So, but I do want to hear from PlayStation. I want them to come out and do a presentation whenever they do plan to reveal this console and be like, yo, this is like the real benefits. If they're talking about like, all right, this game was like 1800p, but now you're getting 4K. And that's kind of like the only benefits, and I don't know if that's actually worth it.
I think what they're gonna use as the selling point for this is, I think one is gonna be that PSSR, that upscaling tech. I think we're gonna see them talk about that a lot. As you see with Nvidia and AMD, they use those selling points with the upscaling and how it sometimes even looks better than native and allows you to, increase the resolution on games.
I'm very curious for that.
The ray tracing is supposed to have up to 2 times to 4 times increased ray tracing capabilities. So with consoles, we get like the bare bones of the ray tracing. A lot of times it'd be like, it'd be like 1 or 2 things that you get that are ray traced, but they could probably have a better suite of ray tracing options. And I think they're probably going to show a lot of. I don't think we're gonna get path tracing. That shit is way too expensive for this fucking consoles. But more ray trace. Some of these games on consoles only have like 1 ray trace option. Like it'd be like ray trace shadows
so my question,
or lighting or one other thing. Yeah.
So my question to you, J-Main, is you think if they come out and be like, by the way, all right, your game that you're playing is not 800p now, but it's closer to 4K, using our special PSSR. And your ray tracing, instead of like looking through the mirrors, the quality is going to be a little bit better. Do you think that's worth upgrading to a PlayStation 5 Pro? I kind of feel like I might.
Me personally, yes.
I might need them to give me a little bit more of a commitment that like frame rates will be a little bit better, because that's been like I've been really enjoying on consoles lately. I think that's why for someone who actually has like a powerful PC, that I could tolerate consoles now, because at least they're giving us these performance modes that lets us play at 60 frames per second. Sometimes I like the convenience of just, of my PlayStation and just gaming that way too, right?
So let me tell you where the frame rate is gonna increase.
I'm just saying, like, if the games are still gonna be 30 frames per second, I don't know if I actually want it though. If the games are like, if it's not gonna change it, I don't know if I want it. That's what I'm saying.
The fidelity modes are still gonna be 30 FPS. If anything, those are gonna have better ray tracing options. What it is with some of these games have performance modes, and then some of them also have that high frame rate mode where they unlock it, and if you have a VRR panel, it fluctuates, but the VRR is able to keep it
uncapped frame rates
when you're looking at it. Yes, those modes are going to benefit from this with the increased GPU, and then a little bit of a higher clock CPU. But then they're going to be able to increase like resolutions and stuff across the board, and using the upscaling technology and stuff like that. So I think you're going to see increased frame rates on those games that have those unlock modes just from the raw power itself. Like Spider-Man has a mode where it's unlocked.
Even Rise of the Ronin has uncapped frame rates, by the way.
Right.
He has a setting for uncapped. So pretty much, kind of future.
But the games that are CPU bound, no, it's over. Like something like Dragon's Dogma, that shit is not gonna improve that much on a PS. No, hell no. Nowhere near 60 on the PS5.
So pretty much you're telling me is just if you're just upgrading this if you just want better image quality. Pretty much.
I think frame rates increase too, because look at even on the PS4 Pro. I know it had a little bit more of a CPU increase, but God of War 2018 had an unlocked frame rate mode, and if you had it on the PS4 Pro, it was running at like 40 to 50 frames per second on that performance mode. So there was an increase in frame rate. So that's why I think all of these games, they have these unlocked frame rate and even dynamic resolution. So the dynamic resolution is going to
hit its targets. It's going to hit its targets.
It's going to hit its targets more. And then I think frame rate is going to increase on those unlocked frame rate modes. So yeah.
So I want to take it to the chat. I don't want to ask the chat this question. Okay, with everything with everything that we know about the PlayStation 5 Pro, pretty much the specs have pretty much been confirmed. Are you interested? Are you buying a PlayStation 5 Pro day one? Just write day one if you're getting it, and just like, or write no, I'm not, or I'm not buying it in the chat. I'm very curious to see what's the temperature. I just want to get a quick temperature check with y'all. Like, do y'all think from what we're hearing it's worth it? You know what? Like, once again, I'm a tech guy, so I kind of like, I'll probably just want it for that, or maybe, who knows, if I'm blessed enough, PlayStation will send it to me. You know what I mean? The Playmaker perks. We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, it's gonna be the best place to play PlayStation games.
So that is
day
true.
one. So I'm there. Like, that's it. If
that is
if
true.
it was day and date on PC, then I probably would skip this. I really would. I probably wouldn't even.
If that was our option,
sense.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't buy it if that was the option.
If you cool with waiting, 100%. And that's, you know, you got a bunch of backlog to play. Like a lot of the PC guys say, I'm fine with waiting. If you're fine with waiting, then this ain't for you. But I think for the people who bought the Pro, this is probably for them.
Okay. All right. So before we actually get off the topic, can we get some price predictions? And I want y'all in the chat to participate as well. Right now, how much? Okay, you in America, right? I'm in Canada. I think the PlayStation. I think the PlayStation is the PlayStation is $699 over here, or is it $650?
$699
over here in Canada.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'm about
check
to go
for
Amazon.
you. Yeah, check for you, because I actually don't remember.
It's been on sale too, so I don't even know.
But what's just what's the standard price, not the sale price? Like,
okay,
actually, no, it's not. Oh, god damn, your PlayStation Oh, wait, how much
is it a bundle
over here? Let me just make sure I get the right one. Best Buy Canada. How much does the PlayStation cost?
You know what?
It is on sale, $70 off, but I think it goes for. Okay, it is on sale, $70 off right now. So that,
and we got $50 off right now.
Yeah, so I think it goes for $649. I think that's the price it goes for the Slim right now, $649 Canadian. What is that?
Okay.
What is that for
us? It's $499, but on sale right now for $50 off. So $449, but the MSRP I think is $499.
$499. Okay, so if that's the base price, what do you think the PlayStation 5 Pro will launch at? Like the price point. What do you think?
Initially I was like steady on that $599 price. I think I'm still there, like 70% there, but being that they actually are starting to do sales for the system, and it seems like they're trying to get rid of the bundles, because I have the Call of Duty bundle here and the Spider-Man bundle here. I think after this we may see a small price.
I think a permanent
decrease. Okay. I think we'll see by this holiday for $50, bringing it to a permanent $449. Which then I think they could probably do a Pro at $549. I think $549 could possibly.
$100 more.
$100. I think it's going to be $100 more either way they go. But I'm about 70% $599, 30% $549.
You think it would be kind of ludicrous if they did it? If it costs more than $100, like $150 more? You think that's kind of insane? I think so. I think so too. I think so too.
That'd be bad, because a lot of people not gonna pick this up, because I do think it will be a harder sell, because they're not gonna have the 4K HDR thing to get some of the
carry them, not from 1080p to 4K now. You know what I mean?
Right. They already sold us 4Ks on the box. They even got 8K on the box. Like, you're not gonna get the casual. You're like, hold up, I saw that shit on the box with the regular PS5. You're not gonna get me there. The people that
what's the difference? They're gonna act like, what's the difference? Yeah, that's what we're gonna ask. What's the difference?
So the people that care about things like DLSS style stuff, like us, we might be like, oh shit, like the internal resolutions is running a little bit
And
higher.
it would have to.
upscaling it.
And Jamin, I
Yeah,
would even need to see examples. By the way, they could say
of
it, but I want to
course,
see
of
examples of
course,
it in practice.
of course.
And the thing with DLSS, right? It also increases what, Jamin? The performance, right? It's not
Yeah.
just something
Well,
for image
that's the
quality.
frame generation. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing frame generation here. I
No,
don't know if they're doing that.
no, but
I don't know.
I'm not even saying no, DLSS in general increases your performance. Not DLSS 3, but if you have
Oh,
regular
right, because
DLSS,
it runs at a lower resolution and then
exactly,
upscales it.
it
You're
uses
right,
some
you're right,
AI
you're right.
technology to
You're right,
turn
you're right.
1440p or whatever p to a much better image. It's comparable to like a 4K image, right?
Right,
And because
right,
of that,
right,
it could
right.
run higher frame rates. So is that going
Right.
to be the same for the PS5 Pro? I guess like I have these kind
I
of
hope so.
questions. So if that's the
Yeah.
case, and this PSSR is gonna pretty much use some AI to reconstruction to make a 1440p image look closer to 4K while making the frame rates good. Maybe that's their big play. So maybe 60 frames
Yeah.
will be like a thing that's attainable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They gotta like actually show us like the differences, because it's gonna be a harder sell this time around. Because like you just said, we're not going from 1080p PS4 to like what did they checkerboard resolution 1800p
Yeah, and checkerboard.
quote
is
unquote
ass.
4K.
I can't wait till they move on from checkerboard. If
Checkerboard
this,
4K.
If this PSSR is going to be,
Bro, it was a difference
replacement
back
for
then though,
checkerboard,
J
that
man.
shit is
It was a
ass.
difference back then.
It was.
But
it
this
was.
time, I don't know how it's gonna translate. So I'm really curious to see how PlayStation is gonna sell us this. It seems like a lot of people in the chat believe the price is gonna be $5.99. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, that's what I think. They, like you said, because games have their 30 FPS, but mostly every game on PlayStation has a performance mode where it's 60 FPS. Some of them ain't locked there. Some of them look nasty. Because they have
Some
to
of
do
them are
all
good
these
too. We have to point that out too. Some of them are good.
No, they are. They are.
Some of them are
Spider-Man
really
was
good.
Horizon
Ratchet
had some
was
issues at
good.
first. They cleaned it up. Ratchet
Demon Souls was
definitely
good.
Demon
Played
Souls was
nice.
damn near
Really good.
flawless.
Yeah. There's quite a
Miles
few games I played
Morales
at
was
60.
good. Like, yeah. So a lot of those games definitely have good performance modes, but they can clean it up, increase the resolution and the picture quality, the image quality and stuff. Add more ray tracing features to games that didn't have it on performance modes. Like that could be a cool little thing too. But we'll see.
Yeah, I guess
see,
we're-
man. They
we're
definitely
gonna
got
have
an
to wait and
uphill
see.
battle, and then they don't have no at least not as of announced. They don't got no marquee titles
to sell it. That was
to
my
sell
issue with
it
the
this
Pro
year.
too. Like,
Yeah.
if it launched beside like a Wolverine, like that's like easy, at that point, like bundle it in, and people might be like, yo, this, that would be cool, a cool sell. But it seems like we're gonna get that situation where you're bringing this console home, but you're gonna be testing out like the games, like a lot of old games that you've been playing just to see how much better they look. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt when I brought my PS4 Pro at home. I brought that home and I popped in like Ratchet and Clank 2016. I already beat that shit. Like, what I'm saying? I popped in just to see the differences. So hopefully PlayStation does have something to showcase what the Pro does, like the advantages over the original. I think that's just
they
smart
will.
marketing. I think that's just
It's
smart
just I
marketing.
don't think
in
those
general.
games will be out this year. That's gonna be the problem.
Yeah.
Because like we all expect them to have a showcase at some point this year. That showcases what's coming in the next few years.
May, June,
whether like whether it be a Ghost of Tsushima 2
Yeah, for sure we're gonna see
or
that.
I don't know, maybe a new IP from Blue Point or whatever they're working on, something from Santa Monica, if that's a new project. Like they're gonna have something to show. They better have something to show.
Yeah, I think I think
for
we
the
have a good
people
show.
that are
showcase
looking
this year.
forward to those those eye poppers when it comes to PlayStation first party.
No, PS Rewind in the chat says, do consoles support widescreen monitors? I think that would be a pretty interesting selling point if PlayStation was the first console manufacturer to introduce something like that. We're seeing how
Yeah,
crazy, which
that
is
would
going to
be
be
cool.
the next topic. We're seeing how crazy their games look on an ultra wide monitor on PC. I've been enjoying PlayStation games on an ultra wide monitor for quite some time now, J-Main. And goddamn,
For
the shit is
sure.
beautiful. Goddamn, is beautiful. So can you imagine a PlayStation like, yo, we're supporting 21:9 aspect ratios in our games on console? That'd be kind of fly. That's a cool option for the console gamer that wants to experience some ultra wide stuff. That's a cool experience. Maybe it'll help you in your competitive gaming. That's a pretty cool selling point. I don't know. PlayStation,
And
they
with
should look into
Nix's
that.
being a first party studio, they could help out in that field because that's what they've been
wonder
doing
why-
with these sports.
I wonder why these consoles don't, because if you really take it in, there are PCs that are probably weaker and or comparable to a PS5, right? And
Yeah.
obviously they support widescreen monitors. So I wonder why PlayStation doesn't actually add that kind of support to the console, because I feel like our current console should be able to do it to some degree. It is more taxing because obviously there's like more, like you're covering more on the screen. So
true.
I don't know, maybe they don't want it. Maybe it's a hassle just in general for like developers, and I don't know. Who knows the reasons why they don't
Maybe.
support it on consoles.
Yeah, that could
why?
be a PS5 Pro feature though.
That'd be
Because
pretty cool.
it probably would be more taxing, so maybe they would have it be more like available on certain modes or something like that. And then like on when you do play those games ultra wide on PC from PlayStation, do most of them have support for the cutscenes being ultra wide?
Well, the one I'm currently playing, Horizon Forbidden. Well, I'm checking out so far. It doesn't. The cutscenes.
Oh yeah, because you a whole slate capper. You know what I mean? You dabble your
that's
toes
not
in it for a
true.
little bit, and then you dip up out of there.
I
Huh?
beat Returnal. I beat God of War. I beat Uncharted 4. So we're not gonna go there. I feel like I beat something else too. You know what I mean? I feel like I beat something else too. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool though. I would like to see consoles get a feature like that. But who knows why they don't do it? Maybe there is some sort of, limitations that's going on, or just extra work that they ain't trying to do. Who knows?
Yeah.
Talking about ultra wide monitors and PC releases and stuff like that. Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition is out now on PC, and PlayStation did send me a code yesterday. I was too busy, so I couldn't get to it. So I'm checking it out today for the first time. And J-Main, you already know how I feel about Horizon. You know what I mean? You already know how I personally feel about Horizon. But
I forgot.
I
Yo,
think
you
I'm a
shouldn't even be
switch
allowed
up.
to be cynical, That's did they see your video?
What do you mean?
Did PlayStation see your video? They sent you a code after that video? Oh my god. They should have put you on the blacklist. I don't even know how you made Playmaker. What the fuck is going on?
Horizon, I have
that video.
No. It's all on the channel. I have my issues with Horizon, the franchise in general. I think has some cool ideas introduced. The whole robot dinosaur stuff, cool. But I think it's severely lacking when it comes to it's for a game that's super narrative heavy. I think it's severely lacking in the way that it tells us narrative. It has cool lore, but I think the cast of characters are not as interesting. I think Aloy is kind of a dry protagonist. I'm sorry. I think some of the side characters in Horizon are actually better than the main characters, but that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But one thing I've never, and you can't even say that I ever shit on, one thing I've never shit on is the visuals. I always gave it its props for how good the game looked. The game looks absolutely insane, right? And, playing the PC version, Nixus, I don't know who did the port for the first Horizon. Was it? Well, it must have been outsourced. It must have been outsourced or something like that, right? It must have been. It wasn't Gorilla. It was Was it Iron Galaxy? It must have been outsourced. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't remember. One. But Nixus is easily PlayStation's best purchase acquisition yet. They are firing at all cylinders, bro. J-Main, I'm playing the game maxed out on a 3840 by 1600p resolution, ultra wide. DLSS turned off.
Oh shit!
Did I just say it's maxed out? Maxed out, but on my RTX 4090, right? And I'm getting over 100 frames per second, frames per second without DLSS even turned on, bro. The optimization for this game is fantastic, and Horizon Forbidden West, I beat it on PS5, got the platinum. I played the entire game on performance mode because I couldn't stand fidelity. I think it was just, I just can't do it.
Can't do that 30 FPS.
I just can't do it. Man. I can't do that 30 FPS.
Once you taste higher, you be like, nah.
Yeah. I can't do it.
It's over.
So seeing this game on motion on PC on the ultra wide maxed out, bro, the clarity is night and day. I haven't popped this in on PlayStation, so I don't know how it is since it's gotten updates and all of that stuff, like the patches and stuff. But bro, in terms of just like the clarity, night and day. It looks so sharp on PC, so sharp.
Yeah,
Nixus went crazy on this. Crazy.
Yeah, that's what like I played Horizon at the performance mode on PS5, and it had its issues. They did better, but ultimately, like especially when you do switch back and forth between the fidelity mode and the performance mode, like you do kind of get a little salty. Like, damn, I wish I could play at the native
Like,
or the 4K mode
yeah,
with the high
like the
frame
60,
rates. Like,
you both,
yeah,
right?
yeah, man, yeah, exactly. You wish you could do something like that. So I already know
Yeah.
like the feeling you get when you're able to do the high
Nah, J-Man,
resolution and then
it's
the high
insane.
frame rate.
It's
It's
insane.
like, yo.
No, I promise you, no screenshots that I could post on Twitter will do it justice. Seeing that shit in motion is beautiful. 100 frames per
Yeah.
second, and it looks that sharp. No, it's beautiful.
So can you because this is a fresh save, right? So you got to play through the main story to do the DLC.
That's the issue. Thank you. I did tweet about this too.
Okay.
I also
I didn't
PlayStation
know
a
you
while
had to
back
play that.
sent me the Burning Shores 2 expansion, but I just never got around to actually finishing it. They just sent it for me to check out. But this is where I need PlayStation to step it up for real, for real. They need to step it up and they need to do it like this year type shit. Like I need this.
PlayStation
as
Play Anywhere?
I need this as soon as possible. PlayStation, if you're doing this PC thing, which you are doing this PC thing, look how many games you have on PC already, and look how many games you have coming to PC.
Yeah.
Please add some form of cross progression between the console and the PC. I don't mind if I have to sign in my PSN on PC to access my save. You know what I mean? For someone who games on both, like who games on PC and PlayStation 5, it would be a dream. Another example, Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island, I believe it's called. I've never
the DLC.
finished that. I've never finished that DLC or expansion. That game's also releasing on PC. Jamie, where would I love to play the game? Obviously on PC. But the problem is those games, you have to cross a certain point before you can access the expansion.
DLC. Yeah.
So what?
Nah,
Like
they-
now
they
you
test-
now you
they
expecting me to
testing the
I have to
chin.
play the whole game
Testing
again?
the chin of y'all host late cappers. Y'all want the games on PC now. Play through the motherfucker if you want to experience the DLC. You got to get through the
Like
story
I get
again,
it for new
complete it,
players,
and then
but
go
I-
to the DLC.
Oh man, I would if they had cross progression. I would be checking out Burning
But you
Shores
also
right
got to
now.
think about it too. I mean, I definitely want them to do something like that.
That would be
but
fire.
they probably expecting most of the players that played on PC to be new players because it's been so long since it's been, it's already been out on consoles. So they're like, all right, most of the people that's gonna buy it on PC 2 years down the line, even 1 year down the line, there's gonna be new people
But
that
there's gonna be
never
some.
played it before.
That's a fact. Most of these, most sales will probably be new players, right? Most sales, but there are gonna be a few, but it should be a decent number that double dip. Or there gotta be gamers like me around. We might not be in the majority, we might be in the minority who do this double dipping, right? But
Yeah.
I think it's just a smart idea for like, yo, like throw us a bone here, bro. Like, and I feel like it kind of like feeds both like ecosystems in a sense. Sometimes some people enjoy gaming on console, and sometimes people enjoy gaming on a PC. You know what I mean? I know like in the gaming community and the console wars and just in the Twitter space, like they just pit the two communities against each other. The two communities are always butting heads and talking shit about each other. But in reality, there's probably a lot of people that they dabble in both, and I think they should cater to that. To be honest, so I hope they.
I do
add some
think
sort
they're
of
gonna bring the whole
cross-progression.
trophies.
They have to.
And
They're gonna have to at some
PSN
point.
and all of that over.
Their catalog is
I think
becoming
they
a
will.
little too vast on PC. Like right now, there's like 15 games, with like 2 more
Yeah.
on the way. Like the catalog is
yeah,
getting
yeah.
kind of big on PC at this point, where I think we need some further integration in the sense of cross progressions, at least with the cross saves. I'll sign into a PSN Plus. I think it's a win-win for them. They could use that as player count numbers. Who knows? Don't their investors love that type of shit? Just do that, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I think it just as someone who as a consumer, right? It just makes the experience even better. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I'll give props to Xbox for is like if you started something on your console, when you hop on the PC, you could just pick up where you left off. And I think that's
Yeah.
super dope. PlayStation needs to do something like that. That's super dope.
From your perspective, I do think it definitely probably would encourage more people that are on both to hop in if they know that everything is going to carry over. 'Cause
Carry
I was
over.
thinking about that
Exactly.
too with like Helldivers. Like I seen a couple people on the timeline like even reaching out to the devs like, yo, y'all should incorporate some type of cross progression. Because I got it on PlayStation, but I wouldn't mind picking it up also on PC if I knew that all my at least
That's what
my
I'm saying.
stats and my level and everything that I unlock carry over. I know they be a little bit finicky about some of the shit that you purchase and where it's available
Yeah, the
at and all of
stores,
that.
yeah, the storefronts and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
but I don't know. I think it's different. I don't know because this is a PlayStation game, so I would assume like most of the revenue goes to them, and then I know they would have to pay a certain percentage if it's on Steam. But that's a little bit easier to manage versus them it being like a multiplayer game where it is a multiplayer, but a game that's on 7 different platforms or something like that. So
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, I do believe some sort of integration will come down the line. I think it's just kind of the natural progression, though. But I would like it. I would like it sooner than later. That's what I'm saying. Because all these games are coming out. Once again, like these expansions, I would love to check them out this way on PC. But I'm sorry, I'm not ready for another Horizon playthrough to even attempt to do that. So this is gonna sit on the shelf. This is gonna sit on the shelf. I'm sorry. Maybe one day do bring it and they update this game, then I'll come back and I'll check out Burning Shores on PC because you know that's probably gonna look insane. So
Yeah, that shit, especially that final boss. Oh my god.
also
That shit looks
I
incredible.
do want to say this. I think PlayStation can do better when it comes to their price, and I still do not agree with how they price their games on PC, especially for the games that are a year, 2 years old. I think they could do better with the price. So they gotta make it cheaper. I don't agree with it. I don't agree.
No,
with the price on it.
they following in that Nintendo model. Our
know.
games hold value.
No, I know it's a new platform. But in the end of the day, it's still an old game. I think it shouldn't be. It shouldn't retail for full price. That's my personal
Was it
opinion.
$60 with the DLC?
Well, over here, $79.99. So that's full price. That's a full retail price over here. So it might be $69 for you guys, right? Is it?
Is it? No.
How much does it cost
It's
in America?
It's $59.99 over here. So yeah, it's $60 here.
Yeah,
What?
79 over here.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, good thing I.
And
Man, shout
how much
out to
would you- how much
PlayStation.
you-
Salute. How do you have to buy it? Salute.
Wait. So are brand new games that price too for y'all? $79.99? Or is it?
It might be 80. It might be
$89.99?
$89.99. It might be $89.99.
Okay.
Wait, let me see. I think so. I think games in Canada is $89.99. Maybe some games come out and be $79.99, but I think they're mostly $89.99. So I guess it is a little cheaper, but still, I think they could do a little some with the price, and I feel like it would just drive more sales. I don't know, man.
That complete edition is still 60 on that's what they did. That
Wait, what
complete
happened?
edition, didn't that shit just come out?
It isn't.
That's
Yeah,
how they,
that is
that's
true.
how they
That is
finesse
true.
it to keep it at
That
that
is
high price.
true.
They come out with like a complete edition and have all the content in it, and then they charge
That
it
is
because
true.
it's
That is
$60
true.
on PS5 too. So
Okay.
that's
okay.
good. If it was
It
just
is what it
the
is.
base game, I think people probably would have a bigger argument, but they is charging $60 for that complete edition. I think that DLC had just dropped last year.
Muck.
They
I
added it.
want
Well,
to
year before.
Muck. I see you in the chat. That's my boy Muck. Talking about Kofi port begging. Let me tell you, there's no port begging. Port begging doesn't exist between PlayStation and PC anymore. We're getting the games. There's no such thing as port begging. So stop saying port begging. PlayStation already said. PlayStation said we're getting the games. Right now, PlayStation has timed exclusives. So get that in your head, Muck.
Ooh,
Right? Get that in your
that
head.
hurt.
Let it
hurt.
sit in your soul. Let it sit in your soul. You're gonna be okay. All right. You know, more people are just getting to enjoy the games. You're gonna be okay, Muck. You know, the definitive edition of Horizon Forbidden West just hit PC with where you could actually see each blade of grass without being in
man.
fidelity mode. We actually can see, and we're getting over 100 frames if you have a decent.
Don't do that.
So Muck, relax. So calm down, Muck. You're gonna be okay. Nobody's port begging because PlayStation already said we're getting all the games a year or two later. When it comes to the multiplayer, we're getting it at the same time. And speaking about multiplayer games, one.
Oh, straight.
We had a little bit of a conversation in the DMs about this because I call this carrying, but you don't call this carrying.
Oh God.
I call this carrying. But
God.
we definitely gonna talk about it.
Oh, you
Okay.
PC nerds going, oh, PC's carrying Helldivers.
I
too.
low key.
Oh.
No,
Oh my
yo,
God.
bro. Nah,
That's
it's
not
carried.
a carry.
It's carrying.
It is selling more on PC. I would never. The numbers prove
Okay.
it. It's
Okay.
happening. But PC is not carrying. A carry would literally mean the game ain't successful without fucking PC. That's not true. That's not true. For the game, that game to be successful,
can I
anything
give you guys
over
my
a million
arguments?
would have been successful.
Can I
Go ahead.
give you my
ahead.
arguments?
Get your shit off.
All right, so let me just introduce the topic. Hellblade. We got MPDs. And
Helldivers.
Hellblade. Helldivers 2 is pretty much was like the best selling game of February, right?
Absolutely, yes.
It was also like the most played game, or like it's pretty much killing it. Pretty
Yeah.
much the game is a
One of the
major
most
hit.
played games in terms of like the games as a service, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I think it even beat Power Worlds and stuff like that. So like
it did. On
it's going
PC,
crazy.
yep.
Yeah, on PC. It's going crazy right now. And J Main doesn't like when I attribute its success to the PC. He doesn't like it for some reason. I do not know why. I want to ask the chat this. Please, let's just take all the biasness, all the fanboyness away. And
those words don't exist in my vocabulary.
Okay,
so.
all right. That's what I'm talking to the chat, because there's a couple of them in there. We got Muck in there and stuff. So a couple of them in there. So listen to this.
Muck gonna pull up. Don't do that.
Listen, I just want to ask the simple question. If Helldivers 2 was only on PlayStation, that's how you guys prefer it, right? Jamie, only on PlayStation. No, why do it? Stop giving games to PC.
Not for live service.
Stop giving. No, for everything. No, y'all say, stop giving games to PCs. Now y'all like that? It was always only on PlayStation. Now y'all say, oh no, live service is okay. Y'all have it. No, it was at first. The first was like only on PlayStation. That's what y'all cared about. That's what the fanboys want. Don't release anywhere else. Closed garden. Only on PlayStation. So if Helldivers 2 was only on PlayStation, do you think it has even anywhere close as much clout and success that it's got? Yes or no in the chat. I need to know, because I want to see how many delusional people in the chat. If it didn't get a PC release, I just need to see how many delusional people in the chat real quick. Do you think Helldivers 2 would have been...
Drop the poll.
Do you think Helldivers 2 would have been a huge success if it was only on PlayStation? J-Main, answer the question while the chat's answering the question.
Can you re-ask the question again?
Do you think Helldivers 2 would be as big of a success it is today if it was a only on PlayStation release?
No. I can say no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't be as big of a success as it was. I do understand what the PC community did for it. Of course, you got the Steam database that a lot of people like to look at and see all those numbers going crazy.
Probably drove more sales because of that too.
Absolutely, it probably went crazy. You had people on social media. I'm not attributing all social media to PC, because there are people on console.
A lot of it.
Also,
a lot of it.
No, that's not true.
A lot of the streamers.
But
where
the
the
streamers
are playing on PlayStation or playing on PC?
Some of them definitely was playing on PlayStation. Absolutely. A lot of them play on PC, but some of them was definitely playing on PlayStation.
No, the majority of them streamers playing on freaking PC. Cut it out, Jay.
But a game don't surpass Fortnite on PlayStation or from hype on PC. That don't happen like that. I don't think that happens like that. No. Especially when it did its first million, the developer came out and said that the sales was about 50-50 at that point. So already we have almost 500,000 on each platform, and then it took off from there. So yeah, I definitely give PC credit, but a carry, no. Okay, I'm not giving it a carry.
Okay. So in Europe right now, they said the split in Europe. So this include in all of Europe. It's
that includes the
50,
UK and all that.
That includes UK too, right? It's 54% on PC, right, and 46% on PlayStation 5. Okay, almost split. Almost split. In America, it's 60%. At least what they said the launch month, right?
It was near 60%.
Near 60% versus 40% in America. Okay, so across the world, it's safe to say more people are playing Helldivers on PC than PlayStation. So my question to you, we saw a number floating around at one point. We don't know if this is fact right now, but we did see a number floating around about the game selling anywhere between like 8 to 10 million copies. Did you see that number floating around?
I did.
I saw that number floating around as well. So let's strip the PC. Let's strip the PC players from the equation. Let's strip.
Okay.
It. I think 10 million, right? I think that's a very big difference than 4 million. And the funny thing, I don't even think the PlayStation reaches the 4 million if it was for the PC players. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think the PlayStation reaches
Even
4 million.
bro,
It
even
wasn't
if it
PC player.
reached 1 million on PlayStation, it's still a success. Nobody was expecting that shit to go that crazy.
Okay, I
even
see what you're
over
trying to
1 million
say. I see what
copies.
you're trying to say, but this is a different type of success now. This is not that like, okay, yo, oh shit, this sold 1 million. This is a breakout smash type of success. That's what we're talking about right now.
So would it have reached breakout smash, like transcending, like it's
Yeah,
now
we're talking
pop
about almost
culture?
10. We're almost talking about
It's
10
like,
million sold. We're probably close to 10
it's
million
pop culture.
sold.
Of course not. It's not gonna reach that without PC. Absolutely not. Like,
Okay.
that would be foolish of me to say. But would it still have been a success without PC?
So that's why
I think it
PC
would have.
players can say that, yo, we helped carry this to it be a breakout hit like this. Because if this game did not release on PC,
see,
it
that's
wouldn't be like
different.
this.
That's
It
different.
wouldn't be like
To
this.
say, oh, they ain't saying we helped, nigga. They ain't saying we helped. Them niggas are saying y'all got in the backpack and we carried you motherfuckers all the way up to this 8 man. It ain't even going nowhere close to that motherfucker without us. Like, you motherfuckers wasn't playing this shit at all. Like, nobody was touching Helldivers. Nah, come on, man. That's crazy. Wasn't nobody on PC even really talking about Helldivers 2 before it came out?
How many
Wasn't nobody on
times
PC looking at that
do
shit?
we hear this stupid ass narrative? PC gamers do not buy games. All they do is steal games. But why is it that they have more sales of Helldivers than on the PlayStation console? Make that.
Because they can't steal this one.
I know Jack. I know this one. I know Jack moved in the chat.
Jack,
answer that question.
Money this time. They can't steal this one. That's what happened. They can't steal.
Jack, answer this one. I know you in the chat.
You can't steal that.
Answer that one.
For that. And it was $40. They had $40 somewhere underneath the couch cushions, underneath, you know what I mean? All the bullshit soda cans that they had in the fucking room, scattered everywhere, the dirty drawer piles and shit like that. They found $40 to play this.
The reality of the fact, the fact that the game hit both communities at the same time, obviously was a big benefit, because I think if it just hit one of the communities, it wouldn't have hit the same. It's the fact that it hit both. Shit, all the, you know, it's a game that's very postable too. You know what I mean? Like on social media, in the sense of all the friendly fire kills and all the like the quirky shit that happens. So it's a game that, like, you know, since they hit both communities, it took off because people just went crazy on social media. Apparently, the game is really big on TikTok in terms of posting content about it. The game's all over Reddit. You know what I mean? Like,
I posted that one video from Reddit. I had all different types of organizations in my DMs. Like, yo, can we post this? Like, the shit went viral, had 5 million views. Like, that shit was crazy that first week that game came out. It probably was what it was like when, Power World was on another level, but I know, like, when Elden Ring was catching fire and shit like that, when I knew it was crazy for Helldivers is the same way I knew it was crazy for Elden Ring, is when I went on my Facebook and I saw people on Facebook talking about it, and they don't really play, like, they don't really be in the know on games like that.
Yeah, and they know about it over there.
Yeah, it's like when I see my coworkers talking about Elden Ring, I was like, wait, what? Like, you play Souls games? And that's when I was like, oh yeah, that shit.
You know how I knew Helldivers was out of here? At what point? Because I started to see kind of like the pop culture memes start popping up on the timeline. That's how I kind of knew Helldivers was out of here. When you start seeing like random people making all sorts of artwork themselves, like drawing and doing all sorts of crazy shit, then you know the shit's out of here. Because now this shit just hit some next level shit. You know how much games, like, are we going to be seeing people drawing pictures of Rise of the Ronin? We're going to see people doing artwork of Rise of the Ronin. We're not going to see that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Deep down in the forum somewhere, but it ain't going to be on social media.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when Helldivers hit, you started seeing, like, people create artwork, people make all sorts of memes and all sorts of crazy shit. Once games start doing that type of shit,
Dragon's Dogma, like people using the character creator to make pop stars and other celebrities and shit like that, like stuff like that, man. That's why it'd be so, like, developers, if they don't know already, like, they 10 years too late. You create something that's going to, like, get people on socials talking about it and wanting to share it everywhere. Like, that character creator is perfect. Like, that's one of the best character creators I've ever seen.
That was pretty
and having that much flexibility. Yeah, and like with Helldivers and the community, like, the game has friendly fire on, and you hear nobody complain about that. Like, a lot of times when the game has friendly fire on, people be like, I don't want to play that shit, motherfuckers can kill me. That has it on, and people love it because it's so funny when you accidentally kill your teammates and you trying to fucking take down a bio titan. Like, that shit is hilarious. So like, create those games that have those that have the ability to have those moments on social media, and don't get corny with it. Like sometimes they get a little bit too
It's
corny,
not,
they do a
yes,
little
because
too
it's
much.
not forced. This
It
was
has to
organic.
be authentic. Yeah, exactly. It has to
This
be
was so
authentic.
organic. That's why it blew up like
Create
this.
the tools to allow it to happen. Don't present
Force it.
the
Yeah,
scenery
exactly.
where
Exactly.
players have, like, you want players to copy that. Present
Yeah,
the tools
exactly.
and let us do it. That's how you
Discover it
gotta do it.
ourselves. That's how it's done.
Yes.
Honestly,
Discoverability, yes.
the
Absolutely.
Helldivers 2 story is beautiful to see. I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it, you know. And I know
Yeah.
PlayStation is really happy with the results of this. I know for a fact they didn't expect, because I remember Jim Ryan used to say like, "Yo, we're making all these live service games, but like it's kind of like it's crazy to think." Obviously, he didn't say it like this, but he's like, "It's crazy to think all of them will hit."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a quote somewhere in the lines of that. Like,
I was just
but
trying to
if
look up
one
how
of them,
many
if
they
one or
had.
two of them hit, then they're out of here. And it seems like they got one. They got one. So far, the way that content has been dropping, the way that microtransactions is handled in the game, I think is done really well. You just don't feel gypped. Whatever you buy and stuff like that, or you could share content with your friends that play with you and stuff like that. I think they're honestly running a masterclass. They're doing a great job. They're doing a really
They
great
was
job.
trying to have 12 live service games by 2025.
Yeah,
So
they just
clearly,
wanted them to really hit. So the fact that they canceled all of them, they probably seen what Helldivers doing. They're probably like, yo, you know what? We could cancel this. We don't really need this now. Y'all can get out of here. We don't need you.
Yeah.
Because honestly, once again, if you get like a Fortnite, you're out of here, right? Can you imagine?
Right.
Like, you really don't need anything else. And I think that was PlayStation's goal to begin with. I don't know if Helldivers will. Who knows how long the longevity of this game will be? I think it was dependent on them.
Yeah.
How creative they can get with it in terms of adding content to the game. So it's all up to the developers at this point in time. But it's definitely off to a great start. It probably got a shit ton of players playing the game right now, and that's very impressive. I'm happy for them.
Yeah. And it's not out like with Fortnite, they have the luxury of all of the cross promotion and, like, you know, anything that's popular in like movies,
That's what's keeping
TV
it alive.
shows,
That's what's keeping
they
it
could just
alive,
put in the
yeah.
game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they'll have like a fucking John Wick skin or something like that right before the movie come out or something like that. I don't think Helldivers can do that.
themed.
But
I think
they
Helldivers could do a lot of PlayStation themed stuff.
a
to
lot
be
of
honest.
PlayStation.
People
shit.
threw around saying Resistance. People said Killzone. They could do PlayStation themed stuff.
I want them to do fucking Halo. I know that's Xbox, but
I know,
want them to
like
do Halo,
ODST,
man. That shit would be hard.
would be hard. Like, yo, Xbox man dropped the ball. Like, this could have easily been like a Spartan type of like ODST type of game. Like, you could just see it. They really be dropping the ball. I think a developer did come out who used to work at like Bungie at the time, and they're like, yo, we presented Microsoft ideas like this, and they shut it down. They shut it down. Massive like this. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hold on, Kofi. I'll be right back.
No problem. All right. Let's see what else is on the docket to talk about today. So we talked about Rise of the Ronin, Horizon, PC. We definitely need to get into that Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. We need that. What else? Oh no, I want to talk about the PSVR first. We gotta wait for J-Main's take on this. Chat. If you guys are enjoying the show, hopefully you guys are, and hit the like button, man. We got 55 likes in the chat. Appreciate it. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to all the people tuning in live. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to the first time listeners. Shout out to the last time listeners too. You know what I mean? But we do appreciate your support. If you haven't checked out my Rise of the Ronin review, go check that out. And yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce this topic before J-Man gets here. PlayStation VR 2. Right now, there's been a report saying that PlayStation has paused production of the PSVR 2. And what I want to say about this is, I told y'all that PlayStation should have bet on making a handheld. That's my takeaway. That's my takeaway more than anything. PlayStation should have bet on making a handheld instead of making a VR headset. That's my takeaway from this. So after a year launch, PlayStation has reported a pause on PSVR production. No, I'm talking about the PSVR stuff. And it's slow sales, okay. How they ceased production because they got too much on the store shelves. And I got a PlayStation VR courtesy of PlayStation. And once again, the product itself is great, but it's just a super high price entry barrier to just get it up and running. And on top of that, PlayStation themselves really don't be supporting it. And I have another theory that I want to put out there. I think people keep on saying, yo, it's not wireless. That's the reason why it's not taking off. But I don't think that's the case. I think VR's biggest hurdle is people are lazy. I think that's the number one biggest hurdle for virtual reality gaming. For the best VR experiences, I played some of the best ones. I played Half-Life. I played all of that shit. Yes, a lot of experiences you can play sitting down, but for the best experience, you gotta play standing up. And I think that, not to get out, into what's going on in the world, but I think with the world and obesity problems in America, and if you look at gamers, you look at a lot of gamers, I think mans ain't really trying to move around like that for VR to even take off. I think that's probably the biggest hurdle for VR more than anything, is that because there was a report. Even look, we got the Meta. Some people are like, yo, Kofi, the Meta Quest is doing so well, but Oculus put out a report not too long ago, how they have a retention issue. People buy the headset, they use it a bit, they put that shit down, they don't touch it again. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, how valuable of a customer are you if you buy the hardware, but you don't, indulge in the ecosystem, or you don't spend the money? Then it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless. You just bought the shit, whatever money they made off the hardware, if it is selling at a loss or a profit, whatever it made, and that's pretty much it. You bought 1-2 things and you put it down. You don't touch it again. You're not like, you know what I mean? You're not really a useful customer to them. You got to indulge yourself by constantly using it and buying content on them. That's how they get money. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I was so disappointed with PlayStation, because, like you said, there are a lot of hurdles when it comes to VR. And I thought with them creating one, you need a PlayStation 5 to use it. 2, it isn't wireless, so you do have to have it wired. 3, like you said, it is. Some people will buy it and not use it after they buy it or something like that. So I think the one thing, if anything that could get people either back using it or to buy it in the first place, is the compelling software. And I feel like they did even worse this generation with VR than they did last generation. And that was like, all right, if you're not even going to try, then what's the fuck is the point? Like, why even put this up?
You know what's crazy? Everyone is always talking about a next generation leap, right? And how they want that.
Yeah.
Going into the PlayStation 4 generation from the PS3, this is where I got interested in PC gaming right at the beginning of the generation, right? Actually, the games, not that I wasn't impressed with the PS4 and the Xbox One at the time. There was some software that was, when we saw it, was pretty impressive, like Killzone at the time, right? It looked impressive. We saw games like Rise on the Ronin. It looked impressive. But I don't think I was I wasn't super blown away at the time. I think one of the the only game that really was like, holy shit, was NBA 2K14. I think that was like the only game that really like, oh shit, this actually looks drastically different than like what we got in previous generations, right? So I think that's what pushed me to PC beginning. That plus content creation. I'm like, you know what? Let me give PC gaming a try. And, and since then, going into the PS5, we've noticed increases. But someone who has been doing gaming on high-end PCs for some time now, it's not much of like a huge shocker to me. You know what I mean? When we jumped into like the PS5 generation, like some games look absolutely fantastic, but it's not like, yo, this is like going from SD to HD. This is like from going from 16-bit to 32-bit. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not one of those type of, or 2D plane to a 3D plane, like with the Super NES and N64. So, but I will say this is what I'm saying. The next generation feeling I actually got, that I was like, holy shit, this is actually some new shit, is actually one of the first time I put on a VR headset. The very first time I put on a VR headset and shit like were like scaled to like real life size, I'm like, holy shit, this is like some cool fucking shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember that too, like the first time I used the VR and I turned around and it was like something different like behind me. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I'm really in this world. Like, this shit is crazy.
I'm saying all of that just to say, I feel like that was like the last time I truly felt like I'm experiencing something next generation or something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going from like the PS3 to the PS4 was cool. Going from the PS4 to the PS5 was cool. But putting on the VR headset was like, holy shit, like this is different. This is actually different. You know what I mean? And right away with my experience with VR, I had issues because I had the very first iteration of Oculus. I had issues with motion sickness right away. Games that had like were fast responses, it made me feel sick. So that was number one, a huge turn off for me. Who wants to play a video game and by the time you take it off, like you legit have a headache? Like when I play, even now with the PSVR 2, when I play VR for too long, like my head feels a little funny. I guess my VR legs are still not super strong. Like
they build up over time.
I heard it builds up over time, and I probably don't commit enough. But I feel like playing video games is not something I should train my body to do. I shouldn't have to train myself to not feel sick to play a video game.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable at first.
That's what I'm saying.
When you're trying to train your body to do it.
That's like, why should I train my body to? I'm here to enjoy. I'm coming from work, bro. I'm buzzed. I'm trying to enjoy a video game, right? So that's why I do enjoy kind of like the smaller VR experiences. But I feel like those are like more than anything, J-Main, price, wireless, this, that. I feel like that's kind of like the hurdles where they gotta fix before mass adoption will probably even take over. Obviously software is very important, but the little things of like, yo, putting this shit on and not feeling like shit after. You know, if I'm feeling like this, I can't be the only one who's feeling like this. There's got to be other people who put us on, and even if they're not feeling like sick, they want to throw up, but like they just feel off. Like, yo, you know, my eyes. Sometimes your eyes feel like a little strained too. Like your eyes feel tired after using a VR headset. Has that happened to you before?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable,
especially playing Resident Evil.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I could only play it. Literally, I was playing that shit in like 30-minute increments.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who wants like the eye strain? Once again, now on top of that, I just took a shower. I just came back from work. You got me playing Beat Saber. I'm sweaty again. I just played fucking super hot. I'm sweaty again. I ain't really trying to do that. I feel like those are the biggest hurdles for VR, to be honest. For it to be like mass adoption like that. I think those are the biggest thing. I think number one, people are lazy and they really ain't trying to move around like that. People are getting a lot of people experience like some sort of sickness or just feel weird after, or they only can play in small bursts. And I just don't know if VR is ready for the main stage the way it is right now. I don't know. I don't know if PlayStation can do things to make itself like Oculus to probably get it in people's houses to try it out. But for long-term use and keeping people actually invested in it and keep on purchasing games and stuff in it, I think it's still yet to be seen, because once again, I could post an article that Oculus said that they had an issue with retention. And I think that's where VR is in 2024. Pretty much that's my whole spiel.
Yeah, that's definitely a good perspective, or a different perspective that haven't heard people like mention. A lot of times it is the wirelessness of it or the price of it, but no, that's definitely a factor too with the VR shit. So I don't know. This recently after this report, I think PlayStation did release an update for PSVR 2, which pretty much, from what I'm reading, it pretty much opens up the headset to be straight plug and play with PC. So it seems like that initiative is full steam ahead, and it probably at some point before the end of this year, it'll be fully available for the PC use. So I don't know.
I think that's
maybe that'll get them a few more sales.
Yeah, I think that's the start.
I think I've been disappointed with the software. Like I still can't believe that there is no new Astro VR game. Like that was one of the first games that I played in VR, and that's not even one of the ones where when you play it, you become like the character. That's one of the ones where you're kind of like the camera
outside, like Moss,
and you're looking, like Moss, like you're looking in and controlling like that, and even that felt like a whole new type of experience that I've never.
Yeah, I like
felt
platformers
before.
like that. I don't feel too sick playing those type of experiences. I just get more eye
those
strain.
are definitely easier.
Yeah, I don't.
eye strain.
Way more.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't get motion sick playing like a game like Moss. Like I have that. I bought that. Once again, super cool technology. What you're saying is 100% right with the software. I think you could tell the commitment's not there, but I can understand why the commitment's not there, because I don't know if it's worth maybe spending that 50 million, 100 million to make a VR game. I don't know if they feel like they'll see the returns. Like, so I can understand why PlayStation doesn't do that.
Yeah,
They
I
probably
think
won't. Think about it. You think PlayStation
you
come out and
probably
make, all right,
won't.
yo, we're making $100 million VR game, $150 million. All right, people are saying, oh, there's no games. All right, let's make $150 million VR AAA experience.
But you gotta
I don't.
show
I'm willing.
you
I'm
gotta
willing
show
not
the
to bet.
customer why they
I'm not
should
willing to
invest
bet that's
into the
it's gonna
system.
take off. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
it might flop, but if you don't
That's
at
what I'm
least
saying.
attempt to show that why a customer should invest in, then why would they ever? And like and shout out to J Bar and Persona with their interview with Sean Layden, like the first party are supposed to be the ones that take the hardware and show you other things and other types of experiences that you can make on the system. That way, other outside parties feel like, okay, we can do something like that. I didn't even know we could make something like that. Let's try that and put it on PlayStation VR as well. Those supposed to be the pioneers of the tech and,
definitely understand
pushing it forward.
It's a lot of factors, J-Man, man. Because
it is.
yeah, we're talking about that. Obviously, economics is an issue too. Just the world state, just how much it costs to just once again get introduced to it. It seems like it has a lot of hurdles it has to climb for it to even take off. I predicted this once before on the pod, and I'm gonna say it again. I think this is PlayStation's last time. I said it way back. I think this is PlayStation's last VR headset. I think PS6 will probably just have PS2 VR support because the headset's still good, and I think they'll probably do it that way. I don't think PlayStation is making PSVR 3. I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Hell
I
no.
said that once again. They're making a handheld. They're 100% going to make a handheld. I'm willing to bet any sort of money they're making a handheld, and we're going to see it during the PS6 generation. It's happening.
I heard Xbox is supposed to be doing that instead of whatchamacallit, Xbox Series XX or whatever the fuck you would call it. Like they're not doing that.
Yeah, PlayStation.
They're doing a handheld.
Yeah, PlayStation 100% is going to make it a handheld, and I'm willing to bet any money on it. And all y'all people who said, Kofi, we don't want no PlayStation handheld. I'm checking y'all timelines. If I tell y'all about that shit, I'm on your ass. I'm checking y'all timelines. I'm on your ass.
You must have saw my tweet about the portal. if the portal, a PlayStation portal end up in my house, mind your business. Understand me? All right? Don't even worry about nothing. I wouldn't be buying it, but I definitely I ain't gonna front. I've been I got one of those controller mobile phone clip shits. I just got like a cheap one. It was like $15 or whatever.
Get the
and
portal,
I was testing.
man.
I was testing it out.
Better, bro. Get the portal.
I was like, okay. No, it definitely would feel better. It actually made me want the portal more because I'm like, this would probably be dope as hell if I was playing with a portal.
It's cool in the house, bro. You just
the
can't
phone
take it
screen
outside.
is too small. So the portal would solve that with a bigger screen, and then like the weight distribution with the clip that I had was terrible. So I'm like, all right, I would feel better with a portal, but I ain't buying that shit. Maybe my wife would give it to me as a gift. I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, and I think we're getting reports that the PlayStation Portal, once again, we're hearing that it's doing pretty well. Every report about it saying that it's doing pretty well, and it's exceeding expectations.
When it's in stock, it definitely sells. I think it was the best-selling accessory for the month of February.
Once again, there's a market for it. I've been saying that if PlayStation drops a proper handheld, it's doing well. It's definitely selling more than a VR headset, J-Main.
Hey, take the bet, man. Take the bet. 5 million.
I can't believe you really think that PlayStation dropping a handheld. You don't think that shit's gonna it's not gonna go Nintendo crazy, but I'm surprised you don't think it's gonna do well. I'm actually really surprised.
For the price that I think it would be at, I don't think it's gonna do. I ain't gonna say it's not gonna do well, but it's not gonna
smart,
do more.
Especially for the Japanese market too. When you know most of them right now are on the handheld wave, and if it's just like if it's like a Steam Deck situation where you're just playing your current games just on a portable form, I think that's just the smartest thing that they could do. That's just smart as hell.
What price?
Okay. Yeah. All right, we got a couple more topics I want to talk about before we get out of here. Spider-Man, the Great Web trailer leaked.
Oh yes, the most.
This happened like last week, but we didn't do a podcast last week, so we didn't talk about it. What's your thoughts?
From what I saw, I think it was more of a proof of concept type of trailer, because based on everything that I looked in there, like we had the different Spider-Man, but they all looked like they was fighting the same, moving the same. You could see that they were testing out the web wings in there, so that didn't even look like it was like fully complete.
Yeah, the trailer didn't even
or
look
anything
good.
like that.
People are capping. That trailer did not look good.
Yeah, people like, oh, this shit looked like it was done already. No, the fuck it didn't. If that was done, That was
the game,
super ass.
yeah, no, the
Like,
trailer didn't even look that good. I'm sorry to tell you
it
guys
did
that
not
trailer
look
did
like
not look
anywhere
good.
near done. Like, and then you were going against the Sinister Six, which we already did in the first Spider-Man game. So
Yeah, I don't
they
want
were
the
even
same enemies too. That's
recycling.
even boring. That's even
Yeah, they're
boring, bro. I don't
recycling
want.
the story from the very first game. The coolest thing that I thought was there is that they were. It seems like they were going to be introducing the Spider-Verse, a type
Yeah,
of situation where you go into different universes and the art style was different within those universes, and hopefully it would probably create different enemies and different bosses and shit like that in those different universes. So I thought that would have been cool. I thought it had potential. I think it would have potential with being able to use the different Spider-Man and them having their own unique abilities per Spider-Man and then leveling it up, having skill trees and shit like that. They definitely would have had to make it more interesting in terms of like the actual missions that you're doing. Because if it's
yeah.
just the
Just
same
beat him.
shit that you're
Just
doing
come
in the
here, beat him
game,
up, the boss. That's gonna be boring, bro.
yeah, that's
Five,
just
why do I
yeah,
need
that's
5 people to do that to fight? Like, I'm just thinking about some of the encounters in Spider-Man. Like doing
right.
that with 5
You
people
don't
is
need
that
five
like
people.
you don't need 5 people doing that. Like if you,
Yeah.
and especially like the fights are super QT heavy, like QT heavy. Like think about like the Vulture fight and think about like those fights. Like how's like I don't know how fun that would be. You know what I mean? So a
What
lot of
I
people
thought,
like getting super mad at it. Maybe it got canned because it was buns. That's a possibility. It got canned because
yeah,
it wasn't really that compelling, and they're like, you know what, let's scrap this, and we
right.
weren't supposed to hear about it.
Now I was just thinking like a way that they could make like some missions interesting with 5 people is that not everybody needs to be at the same spot at the
At
same
the
time. So
location, fighting the same enemy, right?
yeah, so like say that there's an overall objective for this type of mission. Maybe you can have 2 or 3 separate objectives to help complete the overall objective. And now you have to strategize. Okay, 2 people go here, 2 people go here, one
Or like
person goes here.
like go
And
like disarm
yeah,
this
and that
bomb over on this side and do this.
yeah,
I guess
that
so.
way
They would have
makes
to
it a little bit
make
more
some
interesting.
really cool like really cool interesting missions, especially with something that had like 5 players. They would have to do some
Yeah,
really cool stuff. But from
for
what
sure.
just the concept that they showed us, it didn't show nothing too compelling to me that like I'm so sad that like it doesn't exist. To be
Yeah,
honest.
same.
Yeah.
Like
Give me Spider-Man 3. Give me Spider-Man 3.
I would I don't know, like it seemed like that was something that was at a time when PlayStation was like, all right, everybody, all of our first party studios,
Try something.
try and come
Try
up with a
something. Try
multiplayer
something.
game.
Right. Try
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Try and do something because
Yep. Yep.
that was Jim Ryan right there. That was Jim Ryan. Like, listen, we're going to this live service. That's probably when they was like, oh yeah, we got 12 live service games coming out. That was
Yeah.
probably
He's
one of
probably
the
one of
12
them.
right there.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's this cancel is done, and the way the budgets is moving with the Spider-Man 2, like they need all hands on deck anyway with these other
Exactly.
games. To low key, I kind of want Insomniac to I want them to take more time with their games. If I'm being honest, I don't want them to like
They're,
because I know they do like the
they're
half
not stepping.
stops.
They're not stepping it up enough. You feel like with each
Yeah, with each iteration,
of like each
that
sequel,
is
it's not enough of a difference for you.
yeah, but I'm a fan of the Miles Morales style games. But what it is they got teams working on a bunch of different stuff. So you'll have like the team working on probably Miles Morales, and then the team working on Spider-Man 2. When they done with Miles Morales, they all on Spider-Man 2. But then you got when they getting closer to being done with Spider-Man 2, they working on Wolverine, and then who knows about this Venom game? Like I like the half steps, but I don't know.
They might
Maybe
have.
they need to
Well, the
grow.
reality of the fact is, when you play something like Spider-Man 2, and at least, see, I'm not a creator or a developer in the sense that like it's not my job to come up with the ideas, but
Right.
if I'm sitting here trying to think of like, yo, okay, after playing Spider-Man 2, and what could they possibly do with the way that gameplay? How could they evolve the gameplay in the sense of like how Peter and Miles fight?
Yeah.
And I'm lost.
I
You know.
don't know.
They might have already peaked. They already might have peaked that. So maybe it's just everything. Like, okay, yo, this kind of has to stay the same, but we got to improve like other areas in our game to make it more compelling. Because to be honest, I don't know what more you can do with a game like that. What how else? It seems like if you're gonna improve a Spider-Man for Spider-Man 3, it would be nothing to do with the way the game plays. Like in terms of like it's the combat, the traversal, the wingsuit. Like they kind of nailed it perfectly in Spider-Man 2. Like that shit was amazing in terms of like the swinging, with the wingsuit, the surfing.
Oh yeah,
on that thing.
traversal.
Like it's perfect. Like
And
what can you do at this point?
yeah.
You know
With
what
the
I'm saying?
combat, I mean, you know, the whole gadgets thing, that was something that I was disappointed in. But I mean, they can always increase that damn AI and make
They
the
streamlined the
the
gadgets. The way the gadgets is actually fine, Jamie, in my personal opinion, because I actually prefer it being like a quick select versus
no,
slowing
I
down
like
time in the
that.
weapon wheel. But they just have less gadgets. They
Less.
just have
That was
less.
my problem. Yes, is that it's not as many. So you know, you could kind of get a little bit stale with the way you approach a mission and shit. So different ways to approach objectives and side quests and things like that. So that make the AI smarter.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think that's a big thing. So that
You know
you
what
can't
Spider-Man
approach
needs?
things the
Probably the
same each
reality,
way.
J-Man. You know what Spider-Man needs? It probably just needs a break. That's what it probably
Yes,
needs.
I don't want to
That's
see
probably it.
like
That's
I
what it
don't
just needs a
expect it to
break.
see it again. PS5 with maybe Venom. I don't know. I don't
See,
even know if they
that's a
should do
smart
Venom
thing
at this
to do.
point.
When you're kind of peaked, right? Where your game is kind of peaked a little bit. The smartest
You
thing
gotta
to
go
do is
away.
just step away. Just go away.
Go,
Just go away for
go away.
go away for like 5 years, yo. And maybe create something new in the process, like which is smart. They're doing the Wolverine, which is smart, which should play different. I hope. Well, I hope so. It should play different than Spider-Man. If it plays the same, then like Jesus Christ, then it's gonna feel like
Right.
Spider-Man is here. It's just in a different paint. But the smartest thing to do if you feel like you're already kind of peaked is just fucking step away and don't come back. Don't come back until people miss you. Then come back with the same shit again. To be honest, it will work. It will work.
Yeah.
But that's the reality, bro. I want to talk about this Marvel game real quick because I ain't buying
Ooh.
it. Because I ain't buying it. I want to talk.
He said, "I ain't buying it." Put
I
some
am buying
respect
it.
on Amy. Put some respect on Amy Hennig.
She's
my
first
guy.
of all, she's a writer. Number one, she ain't in here
she's
making the graphics.
she's a creative director, brother.
She's a director.
creative
Yeah,
director.
exactly. She's a writer, creative director. She ain't doing the graphics of the game. I ain't buying
Nah,
it.
but she like, nah, I
ain't
want
buying
some
it.
realistic shit. Like that's what she said to them boys. Like, all right, we're gonna put that in the game.
J-Man, you buy it? You buy the
Um,
visuals? I don't buy it.
For the cutscenes, absolutely.
I want to
For
see
the
how this game
cutscenes.
looks in motion. First of all, you know, I already have a little bit of a troubled history talking about subjects like this, you know, when it comes to artistic changes. You know what I mean? So
I just
you know,
retweeted that shit on the timeline the other day. That was a classic, man.
So
Oh,
you know,
what
I
a
mean,
moment.
we ain't gonna say certain words, but we're gonna just call it. I just have a very strong feeling it's gonna have artistic. It's either it's either gonna have artistic changes, or we're gonna run into a Hellblade 2 situation where something lacks. There's no game that looks this fucking good, but doesn't fucking lack in other departments, aka the gameplay, bro.
So, and that's
There's no
my
fucking
problem
way.
though. But
There's no
that
fucking
is
way.
my problem because when we talking about new generations and shit like that, we should feel comfortable with being like, oh shit, that's what it's supposed to look like because we on to a new generation. This shit was something that they were touting and talking about 3 years ago with the Unreal Engine 5 metahuman technology. They were showcasing this like 3 years ago. It's gonna be easy to create a character and have the tech be so fluid where the animations and the facial movements and all that shit look damn near lifelike, like uncanny. And then we saw a little bit of it too with the Matrix, the Matrix demo. The Matrix demo, it was some of that tech going on too, where we saw Neo. We was like, hold up, is that shit real or is that in game or is that in engine or whatever? And some of that stuff was in engine. So this is supposed to be the product of Unreal Engine 5 with everybody moving over to this engine for a lot of their games. Like this is what I was expecting. This is what I want to see when I be like, oh shit, I want to see that leap in generations and what they were doing with that
I wanna
cutscene,
see
brother.
some gameplay, man. The cutscenes look
Yeah.
fantastic. It definitely, at points, I can't tell if it was like real people or you know what I mean, or it was just
It
you know
was
what
a
I mean?
game. Yeah.
This should, yeah. So if the game's gonna look like this, then we're gonna see how it turns out. I want to see it in my face before I believe it. That's just me. That's just
Yeah,
me. I want to
because
see it in motion, in real motion.
yeah,
not
I
this
don't
fake shit.
think there has been a game from Unreal Engine
Even
that
GTA 6 don't look this good. And GTA 6
Yeah.
it looks amazing. GTA 6, but it looks believable. You know, GTA 6
Mm-hmm.
is one of those games that looks really good, but it actually looks like a video game. It looks believable. Like this like
Yeah, this shit, like,
it actually looks
uncanny.
like yeah, it looks like like GTA actually looks like it could be like the final product is like could look actually like this. It's believable. This one, I'm not too sure yet. Obviously, I know CGI cutscenes can look this good, but if this shit's supposed to be like some in-game type shit, then I gotta wait and see it before I believe
yeah,
it. I want to see it.
yeah, I'm not mad at you for having that feeling because I don't know if this tech translates to the in-game stuff. Like There's an engine, and then there's like
Exactly.
gameplay shit. Like, so I don't know
Exactly.
if the tech translates, and,
It's
and if it's only for the facial animations and the facial features.
exactly.
Like, I don't know what that means for the gameplay and shit
And
like
we've
that. I
seen
don't know.
games do this before where obviously during the cinematic scenes they use higher quality assets and models, but when you're in
For sure.
gameplay, they're using lower quality because the shit is expensive. The
Yeah.
hardware is taxing. This game's supposed to come out next year, so I guess we're gonna wait and see. Hey, shit, I
I,
hope it looks
I
like
do
this,
think
and I hope it's a
I
full
do think
fledged
the
video game, not just
cutscenes
like a little
like a
walking
tech
simulator.
demo.
Yeah, like a tech demo.
Yeah. That's what I
We're gonna
feel
wait and
about
see.
Hellblade. That shit is like a tech
That
demo,
it kind of seems like a glorified tech demo because it doesn't seem like there's too much going in for the gameplay itself. Like every time we've seen Hellblade 2 is always some tech demo shit, and the game looks beautiful. I have no complaints, but they've never delved deep to the game, like the game that you're playing. They've never delved really deep to it. It seems like you're gonna do a whole lot of what you're doing in Hellblade 1, which was kind of tech demo-y. You know what I mean? It was like simple walk-in, simple sword slash attacks and dodges. Like it wasn't like very much complexity to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't really
man.
much at all. So I'm very
I
curious to
hope
see what they
this
do
is
with
the
this.
next
I'm very curious.
evolution because we need it, man. We need that next generation. Like, okay, this we
I would
here.
say
Like
this is
this
next.
is
I would say this is next gen of in game looks like this, J man. Then I'll say, yo, this is the next generation.
oh hell yeah.
We here. If this looks like this
I've
in
seen no
game,
shit
I'll
like
say this
this.
is next gen.
Yeah. So we gonna see, but they haven't shown no gameplay. It's supposed to come out 2025. So I think a safe bet is that we're gonna see this game again in like the Keeleys, maybe somewhere in I don't even say somewhere. I'm gonna say like maybe like Game Awards or some shit like that. We'll see this game again.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
interested in the game at all? Like based on that story
Black
trailer?
Panther. I'm not really a Captain America fan. Never really cared for the character, but obviously, Black Panther. I'm in there because of that. I think the performances. I like the casting that they did for in the game for like Black Panther and stuff too. So I'll
Yeah.
check it out. I want to see more of it. I'm just right now. You know what I mean? I just got my. I'm just being a little bit of a skeptic right now. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
I just not.
As you
I'm
should.
not
We've been
I'm not
burned.
believing
We
this shit.
we've been burned a lot. It's been a lot of talk about Unreal Engine 5 since the beginning of this generation. And I don't
And we
think
haven't
we've
seen that.
seen.
Remember that one tech demo of all that flying shit? What game have we looked at
Oh
that
yeah.
looked anywhere close to that? That's the thing with tech demos. You can't really go off and be like, yo, this is the games that we're gonna get. Because by the time we get to the final shipped product, it never is always scaled down. It's always scaled down to something like realistic. It's always scaled down. So I don't know. Artistic
I'm
choice.
chalking
Oh,
this generation up as the return of 60 FPS, and maybe
Yeah.
PS6 will see a next
Yeah.
generation leap that we used to.
Yeah. All right. We got to end the pod with this. We're ending the pod with
Oh
this.
shit.
Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero.
Zero.
Bandai Namco did a
They did a
12-minute
live stream, right?
Yeah, did a live stream, 12-minute presentation of gameplay. We did not get a release date for the game, and I, for one, am not complaining. This game could come out in 2025 if all I care. But I just
There's
want
no
this
release date
game-
for this game?
No release date. Take your time and polish this game up because obviously Budokai Tenkaichi means a lot to a lot of people. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
It means a lot to a lot of people. So I don't want it to be buns. I don't want it to turn out like Rage and Blast 2. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that they, treat this game with care. So if it takes, like, this game doesn't come out this year, I'm not complaining. Come out next year and go crazy. The roster for this game it looks like, see, this is what makes my heart warm. You know what I mean? In the era of DLC, expansion characters, and all that shit, I was a little bit scared that like they were gonna give us like 20 characters and buy the rest later type of situation. But it seems like they're actually keeping it faithful. We're gonna have 10 different versions of Goku, and I wouldn't want it any other fucking way. I wouldn't want it any other way. That was my favorite thing about Budokai Tenkaichi, bro. We got Goku early, Goku mid, Goku late, Goku GT. I love that shit. As a fan of Dragon Ball, I love that shit, bro. And and what made that series so special? It had the most obscure characters you would find in the Dragon Ball universe, my guy, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Bro, they had
People you would never expect to be in the
they had
game.
Frieza henchmen, like a Frieza henchman as a fighter. They had Cybermen as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's what I loved about that series, and it seems like they're keeping it faithful, and I love to see it. I love to see it. So
Uh,
they did show gameplay for it, and it does like a lot of the if you play like the previous Budokai Tenkaichi games, like a lot of the stuff is like returning when it comes to like vanishing attacks, beam clashes,
The beam clashes, yeah.
even some of the combos look similar. Transforming into Super Saiyan mid match and all that fly shit. It's very similar. I love the art direction, by the way. I just want to say that the
I
art
do
direction.
too.
I love the style of
I
this
do
game.
too. It looks
I
good.
like
It looks
it.
really good.
I like the art direction. Clearly you could tell it needs a little bit more like polishing here and there. That's why I want them to take their time. But so far it looks like it's coming together.
That shit look good to me now. I ain't gonna lie.
Extremely
That shit look good.
man. Yeah, it looks really fucking good. I do like how it had it in the old games too, where like obviously if you get hit with a beam, the clothes get like torn up and stuff. It just looks a lot more dynamic and stuff like that. They're doing a great job so far. I'm liking everything I'm seeing about the game.
Where this gameplay that you're showing, where is this from? Is this from the Bandai stream?
Yes, this is from Bandai stream.
I didn't watch stream. I only seen that the recent trailer that they had put out. The Power versus Speed trailer with Master Roshi and them in it.
Yeah, exactly. So they announced some new characters. They announced Master Roshi's coming to the game. They announced some characters from Super. I believe his name is Topo and Despo and whatever his name is. Not once again. When it comes to Super, I'm not. That's the one that I'm not.
Topo.
When it comes to Z, I know everything about that shit. Let's go. We got Super Trunks in there.
Yep.
As well, the big buff. And if you played the OG Budokai Tenkaichi 3, you know he cheap as shit with his ultimate move being the explosive, like the explosive wave that like just blows everything up. Like he was super cheap in that game. He was kind of meta.
Yeah.
Kid Goku 2 and Buu was kind of meta in that game too, man. Budokai 3. Those characters was
This shit gonna have so many characters, like finding the meta, like that shit gonna be crazy. Cause what? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they announced a bit so far, but the map of characters, there's still a lot more to go. And then each character, some characters have multiple versions, like you said, but Goku having like 10 different versions. So
exactly, I love that shit.
Man.
I love that. I saw a couple of new era kids complaining about that. I'm like, yo, if y'all don't,
all the characters,
I'm saying that like, yo, why is there like so many Gokus? I'm like, if you new boys don't sit your ass somewhere, this is for the OGs to enjoy.
And if they
new
wanted
boys
to
sit down
charge us
somewhere.
for each version, they would complain too. So nah, fuck yeah, give us all that.
I want all the versions of Goku. I want all the versions of Vegeta. I want all of that shit. You know what I mean? That's what I like. But the game is looking great. Can't wait to play it, man. I can't wait to play it. Is there anything left to say about this game?
Nah, like I know they want to, with the passing of Akira Toriyama, like they definitely gonna.
They better give a nice little tribute in there too.
They're gonna have a tribute in there. They're gonna
RP screens, title screen or something like that. I'll be fine
for sure. And then they're gonna wanna. I know they're gonna all want to work extra hard too, in his legacy and shit like that for his game. Yeah. So I got high hopes for this game. I'm picking it up. I don't really do fighting games, but this is Dragon Ball, so like I've been playing Dragon Ball forever. So I'm definitely gonna be there day one picking this shit up. I can't wait.
Yeah, this shit looks incredible.
I swore I thought this had a release date though. I thought this shit was coming out like the next few months.
Nah. Let them take their time. I ain't even mad at it. Take the time.
Even better. I'm not rushing either.
Yeah, don't rush this shit out because this needs to be good, right? So don't rush this shit out. Get the shit right.
No more analog stick beam fights.
Yeah,
we got the triangle now.
Yeah. It's similar like Budokai 3. I think when you have to get it closer to the end, and whoever presses like triangle. While the thing's closest to the end, then you win in the clash. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I do like that. We ain't gonna be breaking our controllers. We're not gonna break our controllers.
Those fucking mini games and the load. Well, it ain't gonna be no load screens.
There's no load screens, right? Yeah, like Goku eating his like food and shit, and you have to keep on tapping.
Yeah. No mini games, man. They should just still have it, just a little tribute, or just a section for mini games, like having mini games in as a package in there. So
exactly. All right, man. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up the podcast here. It was a great show, man. It's always a pleasure talking with Jamie and talking about games. Once again, shout out to everyone who came through and kicked it with us live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation, and maybe some shout out to all the people who are gonna actually listen to this the next day, maybe at work. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the new first time listeners once again. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. J-Main, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, PlayStation, can you please bring back the Stellar Blade demo so I can get my nut off? Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was just on my way home, and it was like, oh, if you downloaded
Oh,
it,
yeah.
they took it away. Bro, I got a message on my
Bring it back.
PlayStation 5 once I got back to the crib. I was like, what the
It's
fuck?
gone.
I was
Oh,
just about
man.
to play. One-handed too, man. I was about to get
Oh
my
man,
shit
yeah, I'm
on.
definitely I'm using a Wii remote playing that shit. I'm using the PlayStation Move controller playing that.
The
game,
adaptive
bro.
controller.
Oh shit! All right, yo, we out. All right, we out, man. It was a good pod, man. Have a great night, guys. Peace.